Welcome. The show you're about to listen to is part of the Hopped Up Network's growing family of craft beer podcasts in the U.S. and Canada. Find this show and others like it at hoppedupnetwork.com, the spot for informative and entertaining craft beer podcasts.
I got this. Okay. I got it. Okay.
I got some beers. Let's drink them, huh?
If you really want some film at 11, why don't you follow me down to the brewery? I'll tie a bowling ball to my ankle, dive in the vat of beer. I'll leave this world the same way I entered my marriage, dead drunk!
Hello?
Want a beer?
Hook it up!
Yeah. Hook me up!
Y'all heard, take it from the top. 1, 2.
Beer?
This is how we do it.
My mic sound nice, check 1. My mic sound nice, check 2. My mic sound nice, check 3. Are you ready?
That's cute. I remember when I had my first beer.
You like parties? Yeah. We can invite all our friends and have soda and pie. Yeah! I hope no bad people show up.
My mic sounds nice, check 1. My mic sounds nice, check 2. My mic sounds nice, check 3. My mic sounds nice, check 4. My mic sounds nice, check 5. My mic sounds nice, check 6. Are you ready?
You want some of this milk? Rather have a beer.
What do you guys give me if I kill that bird? Barbara, that's a bald eagle. Get away, Baldy! Yeah! Oh, good evening, everybody. Can you not hear yourself? Oh, so you're just checking to see if I was too loud with the meeting going on? Appreciate that, buddy. Hey, this is the Wort with Mike and Pete, GubsRadio.com. Happy New Year to everybody. Hold on, I'll put you on, buddy. What's that?
There I am.
There you are. Happy New Year, pal.
Happy New Year. All of a sudden, I want to go see Korn live.
Right? Like right now. We'll just go. It's going to be the new open for 2020.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
So
we want to welcome everyone on YouTube right now. We are streaming live to our YouTube page at the Wort podcast on YouTube. We are live here at Secatogue Brewing Company in West Islip, Long Island, and we are on episode 50. Episode 50, a landmark episode for us.
5-0.
A lot of people have done like.
They say 50 is the new 40.
Did
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Yeah. Oh, you're not. I'm sorry, Tommy. Okay.
Half century.
Yeah, we're a half century old.
Dynamite drop in, Tom.
So yeah, we've had. I'm trying to. Right now, we are in the brewing area, as you can see on YouTube, and in the background, you might be able to hear them. They're having their meeting. The LIBME annual meeting is being held here at Secatogue Brewing Company. You might hear them throughout, the time here as our intro goes, having some fun back over there, drinking some beers. We got a lot of friends over there. Let me tell you, there's going to be a lot of people on this show coming up in the next few. I'm sure Anthony Grazide is going to show up. But we have Joe from WA Meadworks in there. We got Dave from Dave's Cold Beer Soda.
It's Apache for douchebag.
That's what I heard. I heard those things. Of course, we got Greg and all the LIBME guys in through. And then we got some what did I call them before? Dignitaries?
Sure.
We got some homebrewing dignitaries here today. Let's go through the sponsors really quick. We are sponsored by Tavour. Go to Tavour.com. Go onto the app. Order your beer mailed directly to your door. In the promo code, type in WORT, W-O-R-T, and get a percentage off. I don't even remember what it was. It's been so long. We've been over a month of not doing a show, so I don't remember. We're sponsored by mybomberjackets.com. We're sponsored by shirtsontap.com. Again, all promo codes use the promo code WORT, W-O-R-T, and get some percentage and free shit or whatever else you want to get. We're also sponsored by taphandles.com. We're sponsored by Hartwell Wood Shop. Go to hartwellwoodshop.com for all your local Long Island rich mahogany needs.
Rich mahogany.
What else? I'm missing something else, too. we're bringing a bunch of new sponsors on. I really was lackadaisical over the Christmas break from December 2nd, our last show, until last week. I have all this time, but I didn't spend it looking for new sponsors. But there were a bunch of people actually did reach back out. So through email, someone just got a blowjob, I think. There we go.
Good for them.
Yes. So we're gonna.
Was it you, Tom?
We're gonna. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's only been 30 seconds since the show started.
It's
so
Johnny
it's likely
Utah.
It was me.
It's Johnny Utah from Point Break. All right, Point Break. So.
I mean, I wanted to. What was
Hold on,
his
let me
name?
finish. What's the sponsor? The last one. I can't think of it. I think we did them all, right? Fuck it.
Fuck it.
That sounded right to me.
Has anyone given us any money or free shit in the past?
Yeah.
6 to 8 weeks?
No, not 6 to 8 weeks.
No.
6 to 8 months, yes.
Yeah.
But 6 to 8 weeks, no. So let's see. We're going to get some new sponsorships. One of the things that I want to really seek out is that physics system. That thing was fucking dope.
The hell's
and
that?
we've talked
I was
about
actually wondering if you were going to be like, well, I got one now. I don't need to get them as
Well, I don't need a free one. It would be cool if we had one for the studio, though.
Yeah.
What is
All
that?
right?
What does it do?
So it's a
It gives blowjobs while you're under the table.
we call them fizzies. So yeah, the physics is a tap handle.
CES this week.
You put the beer inside the thing, and then you tap handle it. So it doesn't sound like you can just pour your beer in. It's fine, but the thing is, it actually draft beer does taste better. So the key is to have some sort of draft feel every can. Fucking Joe.
Okay.
You could put a crowler. You could put a 750 milliliter bottle in there. It's pretty big. It's like this tall.
Oh, wow.
And it's all anything you want on draft. You could put wine. You could put mead on draft, which I did actually, which is actually pretty fun. And it puts little bubbles in there. It actually it makes the bubbles smaller.
Okay. Was that your Christmas gift to yourself?
Yes, it was.
Nice.
My wife bought
Nothing
it for
is
me, but I
worse.
told her to buy it for me.
Okay.
Nothing is worse than large bubbles.
Yeah, well, that might be. That might not be true. That might be true. Who knows? I don't know. All right, so we're also sponsored by Secatogue Brewing Company, who's helping us out tonight by allowing us to broadcast live from their brewery and their brewing space. And as you can see on YouTube, as I'm looking here, a beautiful, clean brew house that they put together for us. There's no yeast poop anywhere, and there's no seminal fluids on anybody's beards. So we're in a good place, and they keep the place really nice and clean.
It is very clean.
The bathrooms are so nice.
Yeah.
The LEDs on the hand blow dryer.
Nice.
I know.
Right? We were going to broadcast from in there, but I said there's a meeting going on, and we're not going to be able to sit there on what we're going to do, like play-by-play, like in golf. He's lighting up for the shot, and he's got like a 15-foot putt, a little uphill, and dog left, right. And he goes for the shot, and there it is. He just missed it. Oh,
living out a dream, huh?
He's gonna regret that one. He's gonna regret his approach on the back nine. So yeah, we're gonna have some great times here tonight. Let's start really quick while this is all going on. We don't have the chaos of the people. What did you guys do over the long extended month off that we had from the show?
I didn't drink enough.
You didn't drink? I drank way too much. I think I gained.
Well, I drank enough
I gained 11 pounds
for your birthday party.
Jesus.
Yes. Yeah,
I drank enough then because
11.
I don't remember getting home
at all.
Like, I remember dropping you guys off.
Yeah.
And then
nothing.
That's not a good start then.
No. Well, my wife was driving.
Okay. Thank God.
Yes, she was. She's a pregnant wife. So
yes,
built-in. Yes, built-in. And we're a month away from this, huh?
We're
less than a month away.
Than.
Jesus Christ.
Right. I think I have one more show before I'm take a sabbatical. Paternity leave from the show.
Maternity leave. He's getting the paternity leave.
Graz's time to shine.
No, actually, I think I'll call on some reinforcement.
Steve?
Yeah.
Nick?
No,
Nick in?
no. Nick said he'd do it, but I'm thinking Steve from Barrage, who doesn't have much brewing to do much anymore. Rest in peace, R.I.P. I think his buddy's here. I forget his name, but maybe we'll get him on later. But I actually was thinking about reaching out to Steve tonight and tell him to come by, but I think it'd be too much for him with this crowd because it's all guys that he knows and all people that he's come up with and mentored and stuff, and I don't think it's it's too much for him.
Joe from WA Meadworks is wearing a Barrage hat.
He is?
It is.
Oh shit, he is.
Yeah.
Everyone's like it's like Tupac.
I'm
it's like the
hoping
Tupac of beer.
I'm hoping there's some merch available. I want to get a fucking hoodie and/or a T-shirt.
Do we have anything? I'm trying to think if I have.
I have glassware.
I have the glassware. Yeah. Shit, I'll get the flat brim hat like Joe has. It's a nice hat. I'll sell snapback.
I want the goddamn fucking hoodie.
Yeah, so we drank heavily here at Secatogue Brewing Company for my 40th birthday. I'm sorry you didn't get the invite. I told my wife afterwards. I was like, you should have told Graz to tell anybody else that he knows that would want to come down to come. But you know,
spent
Graz.
the entire next day.
I wish Gabe would have texted me while you were here.
Yeah, well, I did. Did I text you or the next day?
No, I saw the picture Gabe had posted, or you had posted.
Yes. All right. That's what it was. Shit.
I was hungover the entire next day.
That's great.
Yeah, I was ready to go. I actually
got
drank.
up,
I drank a
vomited,
lot the next day.
Went for
Did you?
bagels, ate breakfast, vomited again.
I can't remember the last time I threw up from drinking.
That's crazy. That's a lot of vomit, Pete.
It was a lot of vomit.
That's not.
I did not feel well. So, quick backstory.
Okay.
That day I was not feeling well.
Right.
At all. It felt like dizzy,
even
lightheaded
that day.
That day.
Okay.
And then obviously the best remedy for that is to drink a bunch of alcohol.
Right.
So
of course.
I went that day to pick up your present from WA Meadworks. So
right.
I sampled a bunch of mead.
Thank you for that, by the way.
Sampled a bunch
that's
of
right.
mead.
You started drinking before.
I sampled some mead, then went out to dinner,
Yes.
had 2 beers, then came here, had 17 beers.
Because I went beer for beer with you, and I'm thinking I walked out of thinking I could definitely drive. I was definitely able to drive. But we went out to the Villager afterwards.
Yeah.
In Babylon.
I started
and
at the Villager.
when I left the Villager, I could not drive. So it's a good thing I didn't. I mean, my car was only another 5 minutes further. So who gives a shit? You drove us to the Villager. And you're like, we have to part ways now. I'm like, okay. And then some of the friends, Brian and Farah and Kristen and John, end up sticking around. I had Sand City. Sand City was on tap over there, which you very rarely see around here. Is a Sand City beer on tap. So I had that. That was a double IPA or something like that. And I had 2 of those, I think. So both my wife and I were pretty hammered. And then the next day I went to Mohican Sun.
Yeah.
And I drank a lot.
How'd you do there?
I drank everything.
I was reevaluating life choices the next day. Like
things I need to reconsider.
I was like, oh God, yeah.
But at least you're drinking
beer
for
in
free
my
in the
fridge. I don't want
casino.
any of it.
Yeah, no. There's a ton of beer in my fridge still. But we 2 weeks ago I went to Trillium. 2 weeks before my birthday, I went to Trillium in Castle Island. I posted some stuff on our Instagram, the Wort podcast. And just kind of showed off a little bit of the Trillium and the Castle Island beers. And then we drank in the city that night, and I went back out and grabbed some stuff to go. We had a great time. That was a great trip. I love those trips. It's a one-dayer. It's 24 hours. You're over the ferry, you're back on the ferry, and you're back to life. What up, Dave? How are you, buddy? So, yeah, we've had a ton of time over that vacation, that 1 month, where I think, I swear, I gained 11 pounds. I was up to like 4 or 5 beers a night, and we're talking like 16-ounce cans.
Yeah, your
and
Instagram story's
not
out of
catching
control.
buzzes. I was drinking like double dry hop, like 8%ers, and I'm like, I'm not catching a buzz, and I'm still under 200, but I gained 11 fucking pounds in probably I'm gonna say a month and a half. About a month and a half. I'm going to say 40 days.
How long would it take to knock it off?
Pounds. It'll take probably less than a month. I shed weight by like just doing anything.
Yeah.
I'll go outside, I'll do lawn work, and I'll just shed that weight away.
Fuck you.
I know, I'm sorry. No, the first week. So I always see it as like the first week of summer when it gets hot and I start sweating. I know it's all going to come out in my sweat. And it's the worst week because I just feel like shit. But everything is just coming out. There's other things involved with that. I have a hernia, a belly button hernia that I need to get fixed. That's just making me feel bloated all the time because it's constant shit. And I just so many things that now that I'm 40 years old, I probably should get fixed. And I'm probably more inclined to get them fixed, but I just don't feel like it. I feel like sitting on the couch and drinking 4 or 5 beers. So yeah, it's great freaking beers from some Trillium beers. We brought some crowlers of Secatogue back. We did...
You grabbed some stuff from Treehouse?
Treehouse. We did a trade with your brother and Frank, the world's worst bartender.
I have a fridge full of Treehouse.
Do you? How much did you get? Sap was very good. I had Sap.
I got like 14,
and
I think.
I haven't had this. You gave me 2 of each stout. I had to gift one of the triple double shots, but then I kept the 82, the stout with the campfire on it. That one was delicious. That one's really good. It's a milk stout.
I had a can of green, and I had the Eureka.
Ooh, how was that?
It was really good.
Good, yeah.
Like a solid blonde ale. Apparently, they rotate the hops in it, and
Yes.
it says check the bottom of the can to figure out what
Which
kind
one
of
it
hops
is.
is.
Yeah.
So it says, they did a Star Wars reference, Galaxy Far, Far Away.
Ah, nice.
So I'm like, oh,
that's cool.
Clever.
They do a great job, and so does Trillium. And I'm going to have a little Instagram war. The beer narrator can probably see it. I'm going to have a little Instagram war where I have Treehouse and Trillium fight it out. I'll do it one night. I'll throw up like a little graphic up there on YouTube, or not YouTube, on Instagram, and we'll do something fun with it.
I haven't had a lot of Trillium so far, but I would say like.
Did I get you any Trillium?
Mile.
Yeah. I traded you out, right? Yeah, I gave you something.
I got a Pilsner and.
Yeah, the pills actually were good. I had it at the brewery, and then with the saison they didn't have to go. That sucked.
Other beer bottle. I don't know. Whatever.
New Englander. Was it New England IPA?
I don't know,
whatever. They do a lot of IPA, obviously, but they had Pom Pom, which was a stout that I missed out on. I had at the brewery, but didn't realize it was on the board, so I should have taken that home. But we had, some great beer adventures over the last month that we've had, and leading up into tonight, I was actually super excited to get here and start this up. Like I said, it's our 50th show. We're starting 2020. We got some big stuff planned. We already have January and February tentatively booked. I got a bunch of people already looking at March and April already. So we're kind of moving forward with everything. And with that said, Greg from the LIBME is coming on in. Tommy, fuck up. Actually, Tom, while you're doing that, you can grab me another Bridges. Bridges? I think it was number 4. Don't worry about this. Come on in. I have a seat. Hi.
I'll take that Kookaburra one.
Introduce. You're part of the show tonight.
The Kookaburra one.
Kook. Stay off my wave, Kook.
What? I like it.
I'm leaving my dead soldiers over there. So
are you doing heroin now?
Yes, Jesus Christ, the heroin is really getting to me now. So we're live at Secatogue Brewery. LIBME just finished and wrapped up their meeting. I heard you won something. We'll get to you in a minute. Why don't you introduce the guests that you brought? You sent me a whole list of people. I really appreciate the time and effort you put into kind of organizing this and helping us out.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that you guys spoke to a couple people that
I got it. Yeah, there you go.
That I know will not only represent us well, but that I know will speak well. And I figured the first person that you guys should speak to is one of my mentors for brewing, a person who's helped me get to where I am today. So, ladies and gentlemen, the new wonderful
You are the president. No.
BrickHouse Brewery.
Yes, that's it.
My good friend and one of my role models in brewing, Mr. Chris Dolan.
Chris, I thought he was going to introduce you as the new president of LIBME. I'm like, you're going to do that and BrickHouse? Oh, that's crazy.
No, I avoided that. For, like the
Squash that in a second. Yeah, you are? Oh, shit. All right.
I was going to say the other side.
Did they just announce that?
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking. Well, we started the show at 8, and I didn't want to.
He's going to go run unopposed.
Yeah. No one else could. Thank you,
Gracias.
sir. This is why we bring Tommy along. Chris, thanks a lot for coming on the show.
No,
appreciate the time that you're giving us. So let me go back here. So before, obviously, BrickHouse, and this is a relatively new venture. Where were you? How did this all start? How'd this come to be?
If we go all the way back to the very beginning, the club itself is kind of where it all started.
Right.
Kind of just got into.
So you were one of the
I was,
members here at LIBME.
I can't say I was an original member, but
okay.
I started back like a year into when the club started.
Relatively new, yeah.
Yep. My grandfather had brewed homebrew.
Really?
And there's still one bottle left of his homebrew from.
I'm sure it tastes delicious.
I don't
70s?
know. I can't even tell you how old it is, but that old DOS paper that you had to peel the sides off of. There's a bottle
of
it.
matrix printers, yes.
Yep. It's got he did his own little label of it, so it's Frank's Infamous Brewing Folly.
Did it hold up? The ink actually stayed on the paper and
it
everything?
stayed on and everything to this day. So I have it at home.
That's fucking cool.
And that was like the inspiration to get into home brewing.
Okay.
And then I found the club. Before I went pro, I was actually doing this. I used to work in TV and radio.
Oh, really?
Prior to
What'd you do?
I was a producer for ESPN and Fox News.
Hey, talk to Tommy. Tommy's an up-and-coming producer, ex-student of mine. I teach audio production.
Okay.
And so he graduated, 8 years ago, Tom? How many years ago you graduate? 2014. So that's not 8. That's 6. 6. Good. I can't do math. So that's why I'm a teacher. I teach audio production. I can't do math. That's why I'm a math teacher. But yeah, he works for the Long Island Ducks. He got the job while he was at school with us, and he does the audio for the stadium.
That's awesome.
And I've been sending him like all the jobs that come up on all of the Mandy.com and those things. Like, dude, fucking start applying to real jobs. And no offense to the Ducks, but MLB, ESPN, they're all hiring.
Why don't you work for a real fucking baseball team, Tom?
God! The Ducks. We're yelling at you. All right, whatever. He can't even hear us from there. That's the problem. Cool. So why did you get out of that?
I literally homebrewed that whole entire time, and it was just the passion that I had, where it became the point where I didn't want to do anything but brew anymore.
Okay.
And
so it overwhelmed your psyche.
Yeah.
You're just sitting at ESPN going, fuck this place.
I thought I had my dream job back then.
Okay.
And really the dream job was just going to be 10 years later.
Nice.
And it didn't involve a commute to and from New York City, which was absolutely phenomenal.
Balls awful, yes, I know.
But about 5 years ago, maybe 5.5 years ago now, I left Fox. And decided to go and work for Blue Point Brewing Company.
Nice.
It was an absolute crazy thing to do. I say, if you want to do this,
back when they weren't a college campus.
Yeah, but I'm going to jump in here and say he had like maybe a 12-step commute to work at this point because he lived right across the street.
Did you live out in Patchogue?
So I
went on the River Avenue right there.
So
oh my God!
I went from a 2-hour commute one direction, so like 4 hours of my day. Was just commuting. So if I had to work an 8-hour shift at Fox News, it was a 12-hour day if the Long Island Railroad cooperated.
Perfect. Yeah.
And then I went from that to from the old Blue Point that Better Man Distillery is now at. I live 0.18 miles from there, so I could like if I had a better arm, I could throw a rock to it. So I went from a 2-hour each way to like a 2-minute walk.
Nice.
Each way, and
there's the dream right there. How much money did you save not spending the $8,000 a year on the train?
It was probably about $6,000
at the time. Yeah.
Wow. I took listen. It was a massive pay cut to follow
but
a
still,
dream like that, but it was worth every single second.
It was worth the 2-minute walk there and the 5-minute stumble home.
Right. And all the free beer you could drink.
Oh, especially at Blue Point. Blue Point was just the amount of beer that they gave you there was not humanly okay, but it was awesome.
As part of that, it was like at Dogfish, they give you like a case a week or something like that. Was it a lot more than that?
So you were entitled to and you still are to this day there, you were entitled to a 6-pack a day. So
wow.
So
that's problems.
Yeah. So
good problems. I'm going to say I would drink my
6-pack a day, plus you could drink.
You'd have a shift or two.
In the not a shift beer, you could go in the tasting room and just drink.
Hey,
it didn't even matter. It didn't matter if you were working that day. I could show up there on a Saturday and just drink all day there. So like it was like the devil's playground for brewers.
Yes, it
was the most amazing thing that you could ever experience.
Jesus Christ!
But it was a life-changing experience. I spent 5 years there, learned a lot, especially going from home brewing to pro. There's a lot to learn, and they really gave me a great
the bigger capacity version of what you're trying to do at your home or home brewing, and even in like a 1-barrel system, all the way to like, I mean, what were they working with at that point?
What was your favorite beer to brew there?
Hold on, what were they working with the size of the thing?
At the old place, it was a 30-barrel brew house,
okay.
and then at the new place, it was a 60-barrel brew house.
Okay. And you made the transition with them?
Yep.
Wow.
But at that time, the last 2 years I was there, I ran the packaging department.
Okay.
There. So literally had like the full scope of.
You had that coconut beer that was your recipe.
Yeah,
right?
the
Coconator.
So Coconator was my beer.
That friends that like that.
It was a real unique thing because like even my parents live in Tennessee now, and even in Tennessee they were able to go to the store, get a 6-pack of Coconator, and like that was kind of like a really cool thing where it's just like up and down the eastern
family
seaboard,
connection. Yeah,
you can like get my beer. Like anywhere.
Mom and Dad could drink the
That's
beer I brew.
Distribution reach.
that was like the juxtaposition of that though was I did do a
juxtaposition. Nice.
It's a 50-cent word of the night.
It is. Yeah. SATs.
Literally, as well as that beer went over, I did do Lichtenheimer. So slightly smoky, slightly sour, slightly hoppy beer that kind of tasted like hot dog.
That sounds like a lot.
That kind of tasted like hot dog water that like I brewed at the old place, which was like drastically too style, and like the head brewer at the time was just like, this is amazing, but everybody made fun of me for it. The best was looking at Untapped reviews for that. It literally was just like,
that's got to be fun, just watching those.
It was either I absolutely hate this beer and it's the worst beer I've ever had, or I don't know why this smoky sour beer is my favorite beer I've ever had.
No middle ground.
There was no middle ground. It was like 5 stars, or this is unrateable. I don't even want to drink this.
Why isn't 0 options enough?
There should be a negative sign at the beginning of all these ratings. So people was asking, what was your favorite?
What was your favorite thing to brew at Blue Point?
The original place.
You know what? Like I really have to go and say, like, the favorite thing from beginning to end was the blueberry ale.
Okay, yeah. Very well-known blueberry.
They moved away a long time ago from actually putting like 736 pounds of blueberries in there. They started using a blueberry extract, but this blueberry extract literally, it came in like a 5-gallon jug.
Okay.
And you open that thing up, and you could be on the other side.
It just smells like a blueberry muffin.
Your clothes smell like it when you go home.
You open it up, the air just across the brewery. You'd be like, somebody's doing something blueberry. And it was like everything you could possibly do to not get it on your skin.
Because you
otherwise you smelled. Otherwise, it was like blueberry cobbler on yourself for like a week. That was honestly my favorite thing to do.
I'm going to say something.
Face in Willy Wonka?
I was going to say something very appropriate. I'd rub it on my junk and just start walking around Patchogue. Hey, girls, you want the cobbler? You want the cobbler? But that's it.
Call me Papa Smurf.
Where's Gargamel? Get him over here. There was so many things that we like when Blue Point was Blue Point, they're not what it is now. Toxic sludge, one of those things that was just like, what the hell is this? That's one of those things that came out and we're like, everyone's pissing on it, but it was one of the things I was like, this is so different. Thank God for something different. It was a cherry stout, right? It was
that was the. What was that? That was the
Black IPA, wasn't it?
The Black IPA.
It was a Black IPA? Was which one is a cherry stout?
The sour cherry.
Sour cherry, yeah. I have a poster, and I remember when I first started going there, when I knew what craft beer was, I was looking through this and going, where is this? Where is this at Stop and Shop, or Finest at the time, I guess? Or where is this at the local distributor? It was all, the mainstream stuff. And that's when I really started picking up on it. And we've said it a couple times, but Magic Hat number 9 was my first love. Like Pale Ale is where my heart is. And I know it's kind of gone back and forth over the years, but I could still pick up a number 9 today and go, I remember those days.
That's a lot of people's transition beers.
And the same thing with the blueberry. I'll be honest with you. Same thing with the blueberry.
It still is one of my all-time faves.
How does it feel now that you're now head brewer at BrickHouse in the same town as this monster thing you used to work for? Do you feel like you've made a graduation, or do you feel like you kind of taking a step back or take a step down, and then now you got to prove yourself again? Like, what's the mentality of it?
No, there's no like step back. It's just like the next. It was the next step.
Okay,
like,
it is. That's what I'm saying. Like the mentality is, I'm going on to the next chapter.
For me, I always said that like in brewing, you can never know everything when it comes to brewing. There's always something new to learn. There's always stuff that you just have no idea about. And Blue Point was that place to go to learn and like just build up myself as a professional brewer.
Right.
And this was just the next step. I always said I was never going to be at Blue Point for forever. I was going to leave at some point.
Unless you made your way all the way up to balls. Unless you made your way all the way up to something like a head brewer there. There's no way.
I still would have left. I would have went and taken that next step and just said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go and I'm going to do something on the smaller scale and take everything that I learned here and just apply it, because no matter what you do, like even though the size of, especially the new Blue Point, it's massive, but the science behind it just translates down. I'm just not using that massive new shiny equipment that I'm not
of blueberries.
I'm not on an automated system anymore. I'm back to the complete manual labor of brewing. But everything you learn just graduates you to the next step, and that's what I always wanted to do. Whether it was going to be on my own or it was going to be for moving to another brewery.
Does being so close to that have any bearing on it at all? Just down the block from where you were.
It made the first. The first like 6 months there, I was almost like Switzerland, where like if there was news to be found out, if there was anything you needed to know about Blue Point, I always found out about it first.
Okay.
And like people would like literally
while you were working there or now?
While I was working there, they would knock on the side door at BrickHouse and they'd be like, "Hey, just want to let you know, like here's some news," and then like the news would break like a week later, and I'd be like, Yeah, I've known that for a long time because everybody would just knock on the side.
You feel like every kid that has social media that shows their buddy, like, dude, check out this picture. He's like, dude, I knew that.
Yeah,
you're like that guy.
And there was like a whole lot of things that had like a lot of change in just the small amount of time I haven't been there. Ever since May, a lot of change happened at Blue Point, and I just found out about it a little bit ahead of time.
What was some of the big news? That everyone knows now.
Literally, like, we had the same staff for about 5 years.
Okay.
And the staff completely changed over. From the moment I left, there was a mass exodus of people that left. And it was like every time somebody left, I always knew about it beforehand.
Chris Dolan's not here anymore. I'm out of here.
Fuck this place.
It wasn't me.
Yeah. And is that a culture change with the new ownership, or
no? And honestly, that was just.
And what was there? Was there a transition going from, independent to when Anheuser-Busch?
I got there right after the buyout, about 6 months after the buyout. I got there. It wasn't as big of a culture change as most people might think. Anheuser-Busch literally let Blue Point still completely be Blue Point. There were a couple of ideas, and honestly, you know what? Like, the big idea that everybody was afraid of, that Anheuser-Busch was just going to buy all these breweries and take over the beer world, they had that idea. They bought up, 12 breweries?
Yeah.
And the idea was to have, like, somebody across the country, every single salesperson, go and sell 12 beers. But the great thing about craft beer is, even that idea that they had, it failed. Like, I was inside there, and literally they abandoned that. Like, over the course of the 5 years that I was there, when I got there, we were only in 26 states.
Huh.
About 2.5 years later, we were in 44. And with the goal of being in all 50, only to find out that they didn't really want Blue Point all across the country. They wanted local.
Because beer is so super regional now.
And literally we went from about to expand to 50 states, and then we pulled back to the point where Blue Point right now is only actually sold in, I think, 22 states right now.
Oh, wow.
It's not sold across the country. So
was it a matter of overextending and just not getting the return?
The sales aren't there because it's regional.
Yeah, beer is a regional thing where it's just like the idea of
a style that's popular here is
and people just want local.
True.
So like that idea that Anheuser-Busch had, that we're just going to buy 12 breweries, we're going to sell 12 different. Because if you look at the beers, every single one of those 12 breweries were known for a different flagship. So you could sell 12 different styles of beer all at the same time.
Right.
Except they only care about the one that was made locally. Nobody cares about that other stuff. Like, that's the great thing about craft beer is, no matter what, people want local.
Okay,
and
absolutely. They do, because there's enough breweries now in your local area where you can get what you want. So, for instance, since a lot of these breweries in my area, I live in Lyndhurst, and there's a bunch now in and around this area, I visit the distributors a lot less because I can come 5 minutes to a brewery.
Go visit our buddy Ryan over at 27A
Absolutely.
all day long.
Or you got the Sims over at Small Craft, and you got Ghost within 10, 15 minutes. Of course, Great South Bay.
WA Meadworks.
WA Meadworks. You got Root and Branch opening up in Copenhagen hopefully in the next few months. There's just so much, even hyper local.
Yeah,
that your Patchogue crew is now going to come to you for their local beer. But for me to go directly to you, I have to have a night out in Patchogue, and then I'll stop by. But I won't seek that unless
you're
there's nothing else around me, right? Unless you're coming from Mastic, which Upper Mastic has a dental plan. I don't know if you knew that. But if you're coming from that, that area where there is no very, very local breweries, that's your local brewery.
Yeah, and that's how it was pretty much throughout all of time, and I think we're actually going back to that, to the point where it's like everybody always says we're on some type of bubble when it comes to this stuff. I don't know if there's actually ever really a bubble of
plateauing and
you know what? If you open up a brewery nowadays, but you understand what you want to be and what your realistic long-term goals are, there could be 15,000 breweries in this country. But as long as you know what you want to be and you're completely okay with that, and this is my long-term plan, there could be a brewery in every single town in this country.
Well, that's what I was saying. I've always said that. I said every town can have their own local brewery. And if everyone
We're getting there on Long Island.
Right. If you live in Lyndhurst and you go to 27A, that's your brewery. That's just like anyone that would go to their local bar. I have a local bar I go to. I go there on the weekends. I pregame there. I go out. I come back there for late night. That's your spot.
That's I work over a po' boy, and it's the same exact concept.
Right.
The amount of local people that we get coming in, the amount of people that are just regulars that are just constantly coming in, like that's the foundation of any brewery, and that's really where you're going to succeed and make sure that you last.
Yeah.
Is if you have that home base that's always coming in.
Right.
Consistently.
And the thing about po' boy for someone like me, I love the beer, love the cider, tucked away. Almost 45 minutes away. It's a tough sell for me to go all the way up there unless I'm going out there.
We don't exactly have
right.
foot
That's
traffic.
right. It has to be a destination or a stop along the way to somewhere else. But when you have places like Patchogue where there is a lot of foot traffic and it is a destination for many people, I'm sure that definitely helps business. Now, how long have you been with BrickHouse at this point?
Since May.
Okay, so you've had a good sample. You went through the summer when you've done Live at Fives and stuff like that. And you've had to deal with
recovering
the local PSA, and then we've talked to even Paul from Ghost about the potential garage that they want to put in and everything. So you're going to now go through all these growth spurts with the town itself. Give us a little background of what you've experienced so far and what you see the town going towards.
The town's in such like a unique place where it's still growing. And like
Patchogue being
Patchogue is the model for so many other communities on the island that are trying to emulate
everybody.
that. Farmingdale did that. Bayshore is trying to do that. Lindenhurst is trying to do that.
And it really is a model where it's just like you look to what they did to the if you think back 10 years ago, you didn't want to drive through Patchogue. And
I used to skate at the skate park in the back of Patchogue, and I was sketched. This was like when I was 16, 17 years old, so 96. It was not a place to be.
No, and now you have a little triangle of breweries where you can literally you could park your car at Blue Point.
You were thinking it.
You park at Blue Point.
Yep.
Walk over to BrickHouse. Walk right across the street to Patchogue Beer Project. Now there's a distillery in town. I don't know if you guys have been to the distillery yet.
No, I haven't been there yet, but I heard
the distillery is.
Oh, did they
awesome.
open up in the old
Blue Point?
That's right. I heard about that. They're open now, I guess.
Yeah, they're open. And
so were they making gin?
So right now they're making gin, vodka, and white rum. White whiskey. Right now,
white whiskey. Interesting.
So they got 3 offerings, but they bought up.
That's moonshine, isn't it?
They bought up
whiskey?
the whole.
Sure.
They bought up the whole entire
White
place,
Lightning.
and like they're going to be doing barrel aging there.
Well, so the barrel is really what they're missing right now.
But that's going to take 3 years before they can start to release.
At least that would even.
And so what I've learned is that you could take vodka and turn it into gin pretty easily.
Yeah.
Just need a couple ingredients, and now you got yourself some gin. So once they have the vodka
that's a long
base,
game, a distillery, because
And they took over that place, and I'll tell you, the weirdest thing was the first day walking into the old Blue Point as Better Man Distillery, and having flashbacks to this is what I did, and I'm thinking of all the places that all the equipment used to be, and now it's just completely different. But that's what Patchogue is. It's an ever evolving place where now it's a year after we closed that location, all of a sudden, bam, here's a distillery.
Here's something else to enjoy and have fun with.
And really just evolve Patchogue into what really is. If you want to have a good time, go to Patchogue.
How's the relationship between you and Blue Point and the Patchogue Beer Project? So many breweries in a confined area. How's that relationship going? Are you guys sharing things? What's the camaraderie there? Obviously, with your history at Blue Point, you have some connections.
So I'll say for me, it's different for me. I came from there, and let's be honest,
from royalty.
Let's be honest. The way that everybody else in the craft scene will view Blue Point is a way that they think opposite of me. That everybody else will view them as the ultimate enemy.
Okay,
but they're not. Those guys are
they
there.
Did what they did.
I think that anybody who truly knows Mark and Pete, I've known Mark and Pete since '98 when they opened up. We used to hang out there,
played hockey together
in the late '90s all the time. But if you think about it, the people who knew Mark and Pete and the amount of time and effort and what they put into not only building Patchogue up, but building an entire music scene down there. They really made Patchogue and the Patchogue music scene into what it is today.
Yeah.
And if you look at what it is today, it's enormous and it's wonderful. And I know I appreciate it. And Mark and Pete, and I know when it originally happened, they got a lot of hate. But they're still two good friends of mine. I
Hate
have a lot of
me
respect
as
for
I
those guys.
cash my checks.
Yeah, but you know what though? They were good people. They put their time in. You look at that as it's time to retire.
They were one of the first people
They
on the
definitely put
scene.
their
I mean,
time in.
who else?
They were good people.
Who came before them here? Was there another brewery?
BrickHouse.
Well, I mean,
That's still around. BrickHouse is the last surviving
Southampton
one.
was.
But it's more.
before
It
them,
wasn't
right?
as much as it's a brewery. It's not. It's a brewery restaurant. It's more like a brew pub. So you really can't.
So
Put in that-
as a brewery, nobody came.
Right.
That's still around. That
Correct.
Came before.
That's still there. Right. So now it's got to be you as the brew pub, as the sole survivor, and them as the first brewery.
And the way I view it is, there's nothing better than having that little when you can, because people like craft beer.
Yes, you're gonna have to
people
wait
want
to get on
craft
air,
beer.
Graz.
Yeah.
And literally, there's nothing better than having that little triangle, and I'm trying to figure out a way of literally making it so that we can push each other. Like, hey,
further,
let's make sure that we're all sending everybody to all three spots.
Which they should
That
be.
destination thing.
Yeah,
that's Riverhead. That's Bayshore.
You know,
that's
there are places
Lindenhurst
all
now.
across. I've traveled this country to breweries
Was
far
Farmingdale.
and wide, and there's nothing better than when you have that little tiny space where you can just be like, I'm going to park the car and I'm going to go to several breweries at the same time. It's a unique little thing to have.
Yeah.
And it's,
Well, we
it's a
we
great
went
thing to have.
into Fifth Hammer and LIC, and that's one of the things they
like
gave
three,
out
like, right there.
a postcard that showed you the
map
of five
like
different, and
4
then
or
you get
5.
stamps. They make it like a thing. Like
That-
that's what I want to go do.
That's what I want. That's what I want to do with the three of us. It might happen.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
Yeah, right.
And if you follow on the New York State Think New York, Drink New York app, you can get your stamps throughout the day too.
Yes.
Make a day of it. Get your 3 stamps in Patchogue. You can do the same thing in Bayshore if you do quick stops, or you get like a Gotham Gold, Graz, Bang Bus, and they take you to each stop along. You can do that in a day. And when I spoke to Steve from Barrage, R.I.P.
We'll talk later.
We'll talk later. The concept was they didn't want to leave too much time to get your stamp and to get the credit, but they didn't want to leave a little bit of time so you could just drive by, click through.
Yeah,
you
that-
actually
that-
make
what-
it want it to.
When the app first came out, that there was no
Really?
there was no time limit on it.
Get outta here.
And like
People are just
all of a sudden.
So I'm blaming the guys at the top. His name's James, that asshole. He
So-
definitely was in early and just clicked through it.
That was like that must have been like 4 years ago when the app came out,
Yeah.
maybe even 5 years ago.
It was a while, yeah.
And
I've
they
been doing
changed
it
it
for a
so
while.
that you had to be at a place for a half hour
half
because
hour
people
now.
were
It
literally
was 45 minutes
driving
last
by.
year, and they now changed it back down to half an hour, which now makes it a
That
little worth
seems
it because
reasonable.
I can do a half
You
hour
sit
to
and have
brew.
a flight.
Right.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I've literally been to almost 600 breweries, and my thing was when I
Jeez.
traveled, it was like a half hour at a place, and I'm on my way.
By the way,
to
they
the next
updated the
place.
app. I don't know if anyone's seen the new interface. It's brand new. And it used to be just nearby, passport, blah, blah, blah. So now they got gear, they got a shop. Of course, they got the brewery map, quick key through. I talked to Paul, by the way, from the Brewers Guild, and one of the things I really wanted for the show when we first started out is to be on this, to be part of this, because we interview a lot down here, but we've
Right.
now started extending out through the upper, lower Hudson Valley, with Nap Time and
Tennessee.
Sloop, and well, we've had Kentucky on and everything too.
Kentucky, yeah.
New Jersey, because we do the New Jersey Beer
That was
Fest
such
as well.
a random event.
Oh, it's so much fun. It's funny that you say that. Like, how the hell did you know? Oh, that's right. You listen to the show. But like the cool thing is,
The beer was
with
really
this,
good, by
you
the
can
way.
actually track what you've
I wanna
seen,
see
what
the
you
labels.
haven't. That to me is the big deal. So when I go into my passport and I see what I've done lately, some of mine are catching up. I've been to some of the breweries, but never got the stamp back then,
Right.
or realized. So I'm going backwards and catching up a little bit. But the thing is, it's not the rewards that I really care about. It's really just tracking for me. Like you said, you've been to so many breweries. You want the experience of saying, well, I've been to that one, and this is what I remember, and this is what I had, and I'm going to take that with me for the next one. And then, not that you're judging it against it, but I guess for a little bit you are, right? I mean, of course, what you go out and see at these breweries, you're bringing back some of that experience to your brewing and what you want to bring out to the customers at the brew pub. I was going to say brewery, but yeah, it's a brewery too.
It's
everything.
a brewery.
It's everything.
It's the most awkwardly designed brewery in the world, but it's okay.
Well, you have the ability to change that, don't you?
No.
Not the setup. But
Not-
he's
not-
making
not-
great beer,
not-
though.
Not the setup. The setup is the most.
But you learn to
awkwardly-
work with it, right?
You learn to work with it. It's just they made that brewery in '94 and never thought about the idea of like having it on 2 levels with no direct way getting to and from the levels.
Very convenient.
All right. Sure, why not? So, what do you think right now after the first, what have you been, 6 months, 7 months?
Yeah, it's been what now, 7 months? Probably?
7 months. How's everything turning out? What's the current temperature of everything? How are things going? What do you want for the future?
My thing was I just wanted to always just take my own spin on things. It might not always be the most popular things, but like I'm just about 7 months in. I'm only about to do my first New England IPA in 2 weeks.
Well, congratulations! I think that in and of itself.
Ask him about the Fat Boy Loves Cake series.
But like that. But my thing was
I do. You're right.
There are things that I selfishly want to do where it's like I love dessert beers.
Right.
And I was just like, I'm going to do a Fat Kid Loves Cake series.
Okay.
Where literally
I'm just
different type of fudge.
So literally the first one was a s'more stout.
It was wonderful.
Just came out with the Neapolitan stout, and the next one's going to be.
How'd you pull that off with those flavors mixed together? The strawberry, the vanilla, the chocolate.
So the chocolate came from just different chocolate malts.
Okay.
Pale chocolate, a couple different types of brands of actual chocolate malt. I was going to put cacao nibs in it, but I found there was no. Don't
say chocolate nibs here.
There was no.
Will come over and start.
I didn't need it, and then it was just strawberry puree,
Okay.
and
Vanilla bean?
and then vanilla beans, and just tried to layer it. And then the next Fat Kid
It was
Loves
way
Cake.
easier than.
Yeah, it's way easier than I thought it was.
I would have imagined that was more complicated, but apparently it's a very straightforward process when you know what you're doing.
Fucking knocked that out of the park.
Not just anyone could do something like that. Chris is an exceptional brewer.
And the next one will be a Boston cream pie donut.
Oh yes.
That one will come out, and it'll be and that one. The first two are stouts. This one will be a brown ale. That will feature.
I like a good brown.
Yeah, so it'll be a brown ale that's got just a ton of oats, a ton of lactose, sugar in it, cacao nibs, and then got a couple things up my sleeves to really try to give that like real.
Don't give
cream.
away the farm, Chris. Don't give it away.
But that will be the next one, probably. In like
this guy won for
2
a brown.
months.
I heard he won for a new English brown, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a nut brown ale that I just won the December Pro-Am with. So with that, I have an awesome opportunity. I get to brew a 1.5 barrel batch with Spider Bite, my good buddy Larry over there. So soon you'll be hearing, and hope you guys come down and try my nut brown ale over at good old Spider Bite Brewing Company in Holbrook, New York.
Absolutely. Let me get you one thing really quick. What did you learn as part of the Home Brewing Guild, the LIBME? What was the like one thing you could take with you that really helped you out here at this level?
Wow.
Yeah, it requires thinking a little bit for that one.
You know what?
Oh boy, don't moon the camera, Joe.
You know what? Honestly,
I dare you, Joe.
One of the biggest things was just like what I've taken, especially on the pro level from here, was I just would experiment with things, and there's no need to, even on the pro level, just if you have an idea, just go for it.
Yeah, it's just a matter of
you
having the confidence to just go right in.
You think it through, of course, but that you can pull off anything when it comes to beer, and I think that that confidence I got just on the homebrew level, where I was able to try different things and pull it off, has made me on the pro level not even flinch at the idea of doing things like Fat Kid Loves Cake beers.
Yeah.
I love the name, by the way.
Yeah, it is good. It is good.
I literally Googled it when I came up with the idea, and I was like, of course somebody has this, and I was just like,
nobody has it?
I was just like,
boom.
I was like,
what do you check? What do you cross-reference? Just Google, or do you go Untapped?
I scoured Google, Untapped.
Yeah.
Every single beer app that there was. I'm just looking. I'm like, Fat Kid Loves Cake had to have come up at some point in time. It didn't, and I was just like, okay, this will be my one original idea that I'll actually be able to come up with that wasn't taken by somebody else.
Yeah, fine.
I think of Joe Gatto from Impractical Jokers when I hear that. Like Fat Boy, and I want to know if
yes, I agree with that. Yep.
R&H from Staten Island is going to do a collab with him.
Bobby and Weesam do the same exact thing with Po' Boy. They refuse to name a beer something that anybody, even if it's on Untapped and there was 13 beers on it,
Nah.
they won't name it that.
Yeah, no, I don't blame them.
So we have actually a naming committee.
Get out of here,
so
really.
Actually, one was going out tonight, so we say we'll send us out a little text message, and there'll be like 15 people that all of a sudden start blasting out all these ideas for the names, and she starts cross-referencing everything to Untappd, like, nope, sorry, that was taken. Nope, can't do that. And then we finally come up with the names.
Huh.
That's awesome. It's so hard. You think you came up with something original,
There's
and you're
so
like,
many breweries making these.
when there's, I don't even know how many breweries there are nowadays. How many?
Like
7,000?
5,000?
7,000? There's got to
Yes.
be 7,000 now. So like an original idea, if you find one, you just run with it, and you don't even look back. The fact that like I did, I called our pumpkin beer this year "Sticky Hands" because you put you put the cinnamon sugar rim on the glass. It kind of comes down the side. You get sticky hands from that. The fact that wasn't taken for anything, I was just like, how the heck is this not a name for
Not for a pumpkin beer, but I feel like someone would have made a beer.
It was a fun little thing. Yeah,
For some reason, I got to figure this out in the break, but we're still in preview on YouTube. I don't know why. We're recording everything and we'll repost everything, but for some reason, it's not going live. It says waiting for this shit, and YouTube changes this shit all the time, so I got to figure this shit out in the break. Really quick, Chris, what do we have in the future? What do we got coming up? Give us the big plug of everything that's going to happen at the brewery.
The next, I'll give you the stuff that's coming up in the next 2 months.
Good, yes,
that will
that's
come
perfect.
out at the brewery. In about 6 weeks, there'll be Mexican lager that comes out.
Just in time for Cinco de Mayo? Or?
And it'll be before Cinco de Mayo, but we do Taco Tuesdays at the pub. So I just wanted to make. I live by Taco Tuesday at home already.
Good for you.
So I was like,
I'm
like, we need to have a Mexican lager on tap. So that will be brewed with a little bit of sea salt and there'll already be a little bit of lime in there. So that way you're getting that full experience, almost like in a Vienna lager style.
I like that. Yeah.
Fat Kid Loves Cake version 3, which will be that Boston cream pie donut inspired one. I got my hands on a whole bunch of South African hops.
Ooh, some like really unique stuff, huh?
Yes, so there'll be an IPA that comes out with that. Just 2 days ago we released Session IPA, and we're going to do like a little Session IPA series where we'll just highlight different hops in the Session IPA. Yeah. Just it'll be like the same like basic 4.5% like Session IPA with different hops. The first one was Citra. I don't know what the second hop that will feature is, but that will be out in a couple of months.
Okay.
And then we're going to go down the New England IPA rabbit hole.
Because you have to.
And then right behind that.
Why do you call that obligatory?
Yeah, I was like, I by the time it comes out, I'll have waited 8 months for it. So I was like, okay, I made it 8 months. Now I have to. But there'll be a milkshake IPA right after that.
Because again, you have to.
Yeah, it's honestly like the place loves IPAs. The fact one of my favorite things that I've done at the brewery so far is the fact that like a West Coast IPA.
Oh, it was great too.
It is now a staple at the pub. It was a selfish brew on my part. It was the third brew I ever did there, and I was like, I just want to get used to the system. I'm going to do a West Coast IPA.
Bring in the bitter back.
I know how to do that.
Yeah,
and
bring the West Coast stuff.
The crowd
back.
was
loved it.
I can't.
The regulars were just like, this is awesome, and now it's on all the time for the past 6 months. No, it's not even on rotation. It's one of the regulars now, and like so like that was one of my favorite things where I was like, if I want like a nice hoppy beer, I can just have a nice West Main IPA.
I loved Stone. Stone was a great one.
Arrogant Bastard was one of the beers.
I do like Arrogant Bastard. I love the fucking label. You probably won't like this beer.
I don't know if they do it anymore. Do they do oak-aged Arrogant Bastard anymore? Because that was actually one of my favorite beers of all time.
That was the way to do it.
We made a clone of that. My brother and I made a clone of that a bunch of years ago.
That I literally lived for oak-aged Arrogant Bastard.
It was great.
That was one of my favorite beers of all time.
Jesus. I figured it out, by the way. We're live. Hi, everybody. Fucking balls.
Tech Talk with Mike.
So as we go live to YouTube, we're just going to go into break.
And this is Chris Dolan.
Yeah. Bye, everybody. And by the way, new head brewer over at BrickHouse Brewery in Patchogue, Long Island. Chris Dolan's here. And Greg from LIBME is here. Hey. This is Pete. This is Mike.
If you want to do that on camera, you can just stand right here.
What is Frank and his wife? Is that his wife?
No.
That's Wizard's wife.
Wizard's wife. Okay, all right. Well, let's take a quick break because I got to pee. I got to smoke, and then it's going to be,
refill.
and it's 55 minutes into it. Chris, thank you very much for everything. Give us again the quick plug now that we're live on YouTube.
BrickHouse Brewery.
BrickHouse Brewery, Patchogue. Go see us.
67 West Main Street.
That boy likes cake.
Go see him now. Listen, everyone that's tuning in right now, and we'll get people back on, and like I said, we'll repost this and then get to see it in full. Go on to the Wort, the YouTube page. It is now working, and we will see us live here at Secatogue Brewing Company, and we're going to take a quick break. And we're going to refocus, retool, and then we'll be right back after this. We're Mike and Pete. Chris, thanks again for hanging out with us.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after, not this, but a little bit of this.
Govs Radio.
This is the Wort on Govs Radio.
Govs Radio.
You're listening to the Wort on Govs Radio.
Hey, moron, it's pronounced the Wort.
What the hell is a wort?
It's pronounced the Wort.
What is it? The wort? Yeah, okay, I'll do that again. This is the Wort on Govs Radio.
It is the Wort. Not warts, not forts, not short. The Wort.
I'm sorry, I just don't know what that means. When do you guys start drinking?
Who says we haven't been drinking?
Where's mine? If I say it correctly this time, can I have a drink?
We'll think about it.
You're listening to the Wort on Govs Radio.
I'm coming back without Pete.
You just kicked me off the air and told me I don't want to see you.
No, I didn't mean it like
I
that.
got two other guys coming in, then you come in.
No, I didn't mean it like that. What I meant was that we got...
What the fuck?
We came here because there's state dignitaries here. There's
Who
people
cares? I'm a state dignitary.
You are not a cicerone.
My name is Chancellor Graz.
James, jump on real quick.
James, I like James.
Yeah.
James, he comes up to me when we were here for your birthday party.
Yeah.
And he says, I know who you are.
Yeah.
And I go,
I've seen you before.
I've seen you before.
You are someone that's very recognizable.
He goes, I listen to your show. And I go, no, you don't. And he just mentioned something. I'm like, yeah, you really do listen to the show.
Yeah, I do.
Wait, you listen to Limo Talk?
Yeah.
Listen to Limo Talk.
That's
you know what it was?
Go ahead.
One of the guests on your show a couple weeks ago was a former teacher of mine.
Who's that, Nigel Fullerton?
Nigel Fullerton.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Like that.
So I'm watching his show, and I'm watching him go on, and then he sits down, and I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, like Mr. Fullerton, seriously?
there.
And I got called. Now I'm called a racist, and we have a troller now on GovsRadio.com that is going after all the shows.
Really?
Yeah, calling me a racist.
Who is it?
This guy Mike Lee from the United Kingdom is just basically trashing me. And
well,
now
I
all the
guess that's
shows.
what he gets.
Well, Three's Company was on tonight, live on Govs Radio, and he's trolling them, saying it's a yawn fest. They suck. Bad show. I'm like, oh my god! I introduced Govs to a troll.
No,
I apologize.
Oh boy!
But so James, let me laugh now. Mike starts the show just now. He goes, "Oh, listen, we're gonna have a couple of dignitaries here from the LIBRWPP in the back. You know, the 7'2" Gork and the other guy. We're gonna have come on.
7'2" Gork. Hold on.
Is that really someone you want to be fucking?
Oh, I love him. He
Seriously,
knows.
look at the man.
No,
He's gigantic.
I think they hugged out and humped in the corner for a minute before.
No, he actually told me.
the break.
He goes, "Hold
He's
on,
like
Graz,
a foot
carry
taller
me,
than me,
dude."
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I thought. I'm how tall are you?
Same deal. Like
6'2". Yeah, 6'2", somewhere in there. He towers over us.
Oh yeah.
Anyone that can make me feel that small.
He could probably
demands respect.
He can hold me like a little infant baby.
So Pete, he goes, we're having dignitaries from the LIBRW.
I told him if you want to get on now to say hello, but then I'm going to have these guys come on, and then he can hop on and stay here as long as you want.
I'm like, you kidding me? I'm like, these guys, get one of the guys
Listen,
on.
it's going to be a lot of fun. Imagine you and Joe on at the same time. It's going to be, that's going to be a crazy.
We should do that.
Yeah, I know.
Then we don't have to talk.
Right, no, we just let them figure everything else out.
You know, Pete,
go back and forth.
I knew it was going to be a good night when I'm
points.
watching the Word on Instagram, and Mike goes, "Oh, no, it's the Word. We're over at Secatogue and everything else." Oh, Graz is on, and Pete goes, "Graz, go fuck yourself."
Are we on live now? At least am I online?
Yeah, I thought you were online. Yes, you are.
We're live.
We're live
with no graphic over my face. Right?
No,
All right, okay.
but it was. I have to tell you, it was aggravating trying to get on.
I know. I apologize. YouTube changed its whole interface to go live the different, like we use Wirecast and Tech Talk with Mike. We use Wirecast and Boxcast to do what we do at the studio, and we're so used to that format. This is a brand new interface they introduced. I didn't even realize over the Christmas break in 2020, where you actually have to go in and do a couple of other steps now, other than just copy a site key into this OBS program that we're using. And I finally figured out how to get all 4 mics to sound. Remember, we had a problem like mic 2 or 3 at times, and it was some stereo to multi-track mix thing. Anyway, Tech Talk with Mike here.
Yeah, really.
Who were the 2 guys before? The point is, fucking 28 minutes of your show.
Yes,
didn't get, and I had to tell Thomas.
Yes,
and
who
Thomas
texted me a million times.
Thomas is telling me, he goes, no,
That's
we're not,
better.
and then
Thank
he
you.
goes, oh, you're right. I'm like,
This is why you're the producer.
I'm
by
like,
the way.
I'm always right. Okay, but here's
Right.
the deal.
Yeah.
I can't have that. You
Yes.
need to be on.
I know, I
The Wort
apologize,
with Mike
and
Pete
it'll never
needs to be
happen
on.
again.
Okay, who was here that I had to stand over in the corner?
So you know Greg. You had Greg here.
I know Greg. Who's
Right.
the other? Who's this brewmaster?
This is Chris Dolan. Who
Dolan.
became the head brewmaster at BrickHouse Brewery, who took over for Paul, who moved over to Ghost and started his own brewery.
Where's BrickHouse?
BrickHouse in Patchogue.
We got to go there.
Oh, I've been there a million times.
Go fuck
You
yourself.
should bring your
Go
dog.
fuck yourself because you never invite me.
Oh,
You should bring your dog to Ghost.
yes.
Now,
Yeah,
They're
they want
super dog
ghosts,
friendly.
not kids.
Yes.
seriously?
Yeah.
But my dog is
I brought my dog.
He's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
I brought my
They all
dog.
are.
They could not have been more accommodating.
Really?
They had, a water dish for him, fucking treats.
But here's the
Everyone's
problem.
petting him.
But here's the problem. We take him to the place over on Route 110.
Right.
The dog place, the whole pet place over by
PetSmart?
Yeah, PetSmart.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm
Any
sorry.
one of those-
My
Yeah,
second drink in, I apologize.
I'm in my fifth.
So we're at PetSmart.
But I've been training for this.
My dog fucking snapped at someone there
James,
last week.
my
Did he?
dog,
Another
when he
dog.
walks in, he looks left, he looks right, goes through the middle aisle, and squats in the same spot and takes a fat shit.
Every
Man, the
time.
aisle? He's claiming his property, man.
He
Claiming the
goes
property.
to the same
That's it.
spot and craps there every time I bring him in.
That's
there.
fantastic.
So I was there last weekend to get my dog a bath, and he fucking. So I'm walking through there, and there's like some group doing an adoption event there, and this like high school girl tried to guilt me into adopting another dog. She's like, just so you know,
Was
your
she
dog
hot?
will live longer
Was she hot?
if you
Yeah,
if you get another dog for him to play with. I'm like,
Will he, though?
the fucking hard sell.
Hard
Did
sell.
she really
If
tell
you
you
don't
that?
want your dog to die prematurely, sir.
Way to go right for the feelings
Obviously,
there.
you want another dog.
So did you
and then
ask
while
her,
she was
would
telling
you
me,
want another sister?
my dog fucking
Taking up
pissed
all your
all over
shit?
the fucking aisle.
Yeah, well,
And then when I picked him up, he fucking like snapped at another dog
Yeah,
in the waiting area. I'm
listen.
like, oh, Jesus.
he hadn't had enough of this.
See, what I like about the Wort, when we come on, we don't talk about beer. We talk about dogs.
What's this we shit?
Well, listen, I got to ask you something, James. James, you run a DJ shop, don't you?
I do, yeah.
Like, which has all those like videos and audio things that we could do like an off-site travel thing one day. Maybe I want to rent. Can I rent some equipment from you in O'Toole?
Oh, hell yeah, of course.
This is being O'Toole. Do you see it's a one-stop shop here?
Yeah, but
no offense, James,
yeah,
but I mean,
no,
I got
it's
everything
okay,
we
Omar.
need.
But
Yeah,
here,
he's got
James, here's the
everything
problem.
So he
James,
doesn't have to pull
here's
any
what's going to
fucking
happen.
strings or
At least
anything.
when you put it on, it'll go on right
it's a
away.
dick move.
We won't have a
Oh,
fucking
don't
38.
bring me into this right now. Don't bring me into that argument.
I'm sorry, I didn't know James worked for YouTube and knows every ins and out.
I'm starting to like
You work for
James.
Well, I mean, I am a millennial, so I mean, like,
You work for YouTube?
I could. You never
Holy
know.
shit.
Well, the other dummy right over there, Thomas
Our producer
Santiago,
staring
our
at his fucking
producer.
phone.
He knew all the things.
He
though.
knew. Well, listen, I have to give him credit, man.
Live now, yeah.
He's getting
Sending
the.
fucking
he's
sex to his boyfriend.
He's no, he's getting the work.
He's becoming the new Norton. That's according to Pete. That's the new Norton. By the way, that's crazy.
Even if that were true, what would be the problem?
There's
Pete?
nothing. I'm just
Does
saying
it-
you're distracted.
Doesn't make you a bad person.
2020,
right?
you gotta love everybody now.
That's so true.
all I know is
Yeah.
last night I'm sitting on the couch. Breaking news! There's fucking missiles flying from fucking Iran, and I'm sitting there. And my son, my 7-year-old, walks over. Daddy, could we watch The Incredibles? I go, yeah, why not?
exactly.
Dude,
I
was checking the news, and I saw like Trump was looking for the networks for airtime to address the nation. I'm like, fuck. That's not
Something
not
happened.
to say like, hey, the stock market broke a record today.
Well, about that.
Well, exactly.
And I'm
All
like,
about that.
No, he's not doing that. I'm like,
What
oh,
happened
thank God.
there?
We're not going to war
Is
today.
Exactly. It's not tonight. Not tonight. Tomorrow's a different story.
yeah.
So, who else is coming on after me and James get off?
Well, we have some dignitaries.
Yeah, who are your dignitaries?
Iranian dignitaries.
Can you get some British marching music?
I don't have any of that.
I'm sure we can
that God
twist
Save the
Joe's
Queen?
arm from WA Meadworks. I'm sure he'll
Oh, well,
come on
Joe
and
and
say
Graz will come on at the same time. We'll get them on after, but
I really want to hear that conversation.
Greg,
Joe's a tough
definitely
one.
tune
That
into
guy, I
that
like that kid. That's a tough one.
Greg approached me before we went on and said I have these two other guys that were in that text message that he sent us that they want to put on at the same time. So then we'll do them in between having this segment and then the next segment. But before you do that,
go ahead.
Since we have James on now, and I'm not sure how many mics we'll have for later.
Yeah, why is that? Why don't we have Tech Talk? That's what the question.
Hold
that's
on,
the question.
so
Where's the fifth mic? Where did you get the?
I don't know. So anyway, James, you've you're part of the
the Brewers Collective.
The Brewers Collective. Sorry,
I do work for him. Yeah.
Yes. So give us a little bit of rundown on your role with the obviously LIBME or what you're doing for the Brewers Collective and how you see
try to
the
do
scene
sales
on
for
that.
them and give them a lot of emotional support and moral support on things.
A lot of cuddling.
A lot of cuddling. A lot of cuddling. You have no idea about
Big
cuddling.
spoon or little spoon?
It depends on the day. It depends on who's cuddling me. To be honest with you, Tim's a big guy.
Tim's
I
a
don't
big
know what
guy.
to do about that. Like, how you going to argue with
You
him
guys
right
are
there?
scaring me, dude. You fucking scaring me. We went in this direction like 5 months ago. I got scolded by my wife.
That was true. Yeah, he sure did.
Sometimes you just got to do things to keep the progress going. But everything is all good. We actually made a collaboration with Secatogue.
I want to hear about that. I saw
on Monday. It was a lot of fun.
Wait a minute.
A lot of it was.
Wait, time out. Wait.
Okay.
So you do the DJing and what else do you do?
Sale. I do sale. I do the DJing thing on that's my main job.
Okay.
And then I do sales from them, and I'm best friends with all of them in the collective.
Who? I mean,
okay. So there's 5
Tim,
owners of
Sarah,
them. Tim,
Mike.
Sarah, Mikey, Terry,
they're
and
down-
Stretch.
they're
Stretch-
down to 5?
Stretch, yeah.
Stretch, yeah. They're
They're
down
down
to
to
5.
5?
Yeah.
A slim.
What
Yes.
do you usually
Down from
have?
9.
What do you usually have? 9? 9?
It was 9.
There were 9, but I guess 5 of them were really into
But he
it.
had a business, and we just had 4 hits.
No. I think it's.
They might have better things to do.
No, it's
Families,
still business.
things.
Yeah. I mean, they all have families. They all have things to do.
Right.
You're young.
I'm 30. I'm the youngest
young.
one. Yeah.
Okay. You single?
I am single.
So you're
Ready to mingle.
You're ready to mingle, right?
mingle. Thank you. Appreciate that.
So the role that you have there at the Brewers Collective, does it introduce you to a lot of people that are in the industry?
Yeah, I get to meet everybody, which is the best thing about it. I know like I'm not part of LIBME. I'm thinking about joining because I really
You're there.
love beer. I love beer all the time.
And
I know 90% of the people in this room right now, which is a great thing. Whenever I go out anywhere, I can just sit down and chill.
But how'd that
I know this guy all the time.
How'd that happen?
You're coming on next.
You're
fucker.
coming on next. You got to be on the Graz.
It's me and you.
Joe's from WA Meadworks is over here wondering.
James,
how the hell did this happen?
How did that happen? How did you get that such a close relationship with all these people? And
Drinking, alcohol.
Seriously?
Alcohol, yeah.
Absolutely.
You just got to be personable. You got to go out there. You got to meet people. You got to say hello.
Define personable. What is that?
I have no idea.
Something you're not.
Exactly.
I think it's something that happened
Seems
after.
like such a friendly guy.
You have about 2 drinks. You just become really friendly with people, and you're able to go out and just meet them and talk about similar interests, and basically that's how you get there.
So, and how long you been doing it?
2 years, 2.5 years.
So, how many guys do you think you're close with?
Oh shit, a lot.
Like if I wanted to say, come on, let's do a comedy night. We'll all get together at Governor's in Levittown.
I could probably pull somebody for you.
Well, here's what my original thought was before tonight happened, is that we wanted to host the LIBME annual party at Governor's.
Yeah.
But the problem is,
Come on.
we're not a brewery at Governor's Brewery.
But come on,
You got a liquor license though.
It's time.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, you can throw up a couple
disrespect.
bags.
Could have done.
It's
a
time
bit.
for you to put together a fucking the Wort. It's the first annual Wort Awards or something.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do
I
something
like that idea.
Award
Yeah.
awards.
No,
Yeah.
we've discussed this a couple of times,
Come
and
on,
it's not a
now,
bad idea.
The best beer.
Yeah.
We'll have 3 of them. We'll be fair to everybody. Yes, all these guys all love you. They seem to all get along with all of us. We've been
Love's
fair.
a strong
We've
word.
been come on, Pete. We've been fair to every single one of the fucking idiots. Even
I hope so.
Even the ones that didn't even end
might
up
be
opening
true.
up.
Yeah.
We've been fair to everybody.
They haven't opened up yet.
Exactly.
You
need to have a lot of them open up because that's the other thing. They don't. A lot of them, they get on, they see the video, they get on the microphone, they just don't know how to come out of themselves.
Oh no!
And you need to.
He means the ones that they still don't have a tap room.
Yeah,
They have
Well, I mean,
not open up emotionally.
Dude, we had.
Sometimes you need to open up emotionally, though. That's the thing. Beer touches the soul, man.
We had one brewery that's coming on in August. And I turned to him. I go. He goes, oh, we're planning on going on June from like a Hempstead area. I go, you ain't getting opening up till September. Do you know he came up to me and he said, you were right. We didn't open up till October.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah.
All right.
That's the way it is now.
Getting shit through the state is not easy.
Not at all. I remember. I could tell you that when the Wort was on, when we were having the government shutdown, that all these guys were trying to open up.
He was part of it.
He was part of it.
Ken was part of that.
Kenny was part of it.
Lag.
And couldn't open up. So all these guys were coming on the air saying, hey, listen, we're going to feed beer to everybody, but we can't do anything to make money on it.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to keep trying to promote it so when they do open, the outpour is there.
I think that you owe our listeners a night of let's rock and roll.
Yeah, let's
rock and roll.
Let's hang out.
I can do it. We'll get Jesse
Smollett.
No. Jesse from Independent Beer Drinkers, boyfriend, husband, person.
Decent mom.
Yes, who's always at the Brewers Collective.
Yeah, they moved to Florida, though. They just moved
both
to Florida.
of them?
Yeah,
might be tough to get him in.
Might be a little tough to get him in. I don't know. I think they'd come back for some covers.
I think he could.
Gotta say.
For an award.
Put a microphone in front of him. You never know.
He could put a better festival together than the one
wait,
time out. Let me finish. The one that was behind the bowling alley.
Bridge.
Yeah,
no, I'm
sure.
The one that was behind the bowling alley?
Better than
the one that was by the soccer field.
Littering and smoking the reefer. Shit.
I will say though, on Valentine's Day weekend at the Brewers Collective, there's going to be a massive beer festival there. We have our
15th and 16th.
Our newborn children welcome.
Yeah, exactly. Your newborn children we welcome if you want.
Bring the 1 week
them on down. Exactly. Bring the 1 week old.
Yeah.
They can have some.
We have a certain section for breastfeeding. Don't worry about it.
Right in the back behind the tanks, a little secluded. It'll be fine.
We have the baby changing station.
When is this happening?
February 15th.
No, he means the baby.
Oh.
And the breastfeeding.
Yes, when's the breastfeeding?
Same, February 15th.
Yeah, there you go.
Probably on the same day. You never know.
Okay.
We could brew a
At
new
the
one
Brewers
with
Collective.
Where is that?
It's in Bayshore, 1460 North Clinton Avenue.
Yes.
And your friends from Hopwinds are opening up next door eventually.
Hopwinds invited me on tonight.
Get out of here.
To their podcast. I gotta listen to that.
Yeah, I want to go to the podcast with you.
He says to me, that's what he said. He goes, Graz, he goes, you come down anytime you want. He goes, I would love to have a podcast with you. So I had Christian's basketball game tonight, so I'm like, I got to go to the work with Mike and Pete. But Hopwinds, kudos to Hopwinds. Kudos to this place, Secatogue. This guy,
Kenny's amazing. Kenny's amazing.
Listen, folks, all across the United States, you come to Long Island, come to East Islip, come to Secatogue. It looks like a bank.
Or even West Islip.
All right, it is
a bank.
It looks like a bank. Oh, blow me, Lurch, blow me.
You're gonna get dragged out of here.
Come to
Secatogue.
Secatogue.
Pick you up in the head.
They got 12 beers. You know what? He likes me. Oh, fuck him. He learned to like me. All right,
He learned to like me.
There's 12 beers on tap. Come hang out. It's one of the nicest places you'll be to. Go to 1940s Brewing.
Yes.
With Charlie, go visit him. Hopscotch.
Yep.
Right?
Yes. Shout out to Hopscotch.
Mark was wondering where you were tonight.
Who's my
Shout out to you.
Mark.
Yeah,
I love Mark.
Mark's fucking amazing.
We're going to have our friends come on. Greg's introducing them. So why don't we get these guys on?
Oh, there's the dignitary.
No problem.
Hold on.
He's wearing a tie. He's a
I
dignitary.
want to put British music on for
He's
you
got a
two.
tie. This guy's got a name tag. Obviously, they're
The
important.
Queen wants to sit down with these two because,
Clearly.
hold on, folks in the United States, here comes the 30 minutes of Borfest.
There we go. Thank you, Greg.
Here comes the Borfest.
I already turned his mic off, so he's nothing.
Please don't hurt me.
So just to give you a background, Graz hosts a Limo Talk podcast on govsradio.com, our home station that we have a studio and we do all the shows from there, gentlemen. And we at times entertain Graziday. Graz on air is an asshole. Anthony Graziday, once he walks away, will hug you and squeeze you and hump you in the corner. So just to give you a little quick background.
If that's your thing.
If that's your thing. If it's not, doesn't make you a bad person. It's all good. Thank you. Hold on. Where's the fast pass to that one? Thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate you guys sticking around. Which one's the teacher that needs to get to work tomorrow?
The teacher's down there.
You're the teacher?
That's me.
I'm also a teacher. I'll be up at 5 o'clock, 5:30 tomorrow, right after this. and struggling through the rest of my day to the midterm on Friday. Good times. Thanks a lot for coming in. So you guys, why don't you introduce yourselves? Start with the teacher, obviously, and tell us a little bit about your role in the LIBME and or beyond that, and tell us kind of your background and what's going on.
Sure. My name is Andrew Luberto. I'm former president of LIBME.
Ooh. We have a former president.
That's right. Yeah.
That's why he's wearing a tie. That's the tie. That's what. I wore a tie to one show, and people were questioning me all day. Like, what the fuck's with the tie, dude? I'm like, I'm formal tonight. I thought it was a black tie event. Anyway, go ahead.
It was that much of a throw off, like the tie.
No,
like,
to me it isn't.
I can see like a powder wig or something like that. But like a tie, really? That's what's throwing you off?
That's what's doing
like,
it.
what kind of scumbags are you hanging out with?
Me.
Me. Like a tie
is
throwing you off that much. Like it's like the equivalent of coming in with like a kilt or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yes. What's with the no underwear kilt? Yeah. What are you doing? What are you trying to prove?
No sweatpants today? What's the occasion? I'm like, oh,
how dare you?
It was that awkward.
Yes.
I mean, really.
So sorry. Former president. How long did you serve?
2 years.
2 years. Okay.
Yeah, 2 years with the club. I've been a member of LIBME, for I think 10 or 11 years.
Wow.
For now.
Close to a founding member within the very early stages.
Early stages, definitely not one of the foundings, but in the early stages of the club. So I run education now, which I'm very happy with.
Cool. What do you teach?
Seems like a good fit.
Yeah, it's something. Yeah, I'm very passionate about. I'm an advanced cicerone and a grandmaster too. Beer judge.
So you love learning.
He's incredibly modest. There's very few people that hold both designations in the globe.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So, like I said, dignitaries are joining us here at the Word. I told them that all night. Don't sell yourself short just yet. We'll get to it.
So that's my thing. Being a teacher, and also that's something I'm passionate about it. But so it's good.
Do you ever so? We do this, and I'm constantly referencing it, but I don't want my high school students to kind of troll me and follow and find out what I actually sound like when I'm not presentable and wearing my shirt and tie in front of class all day. Does any of it leak into that educational system, or?
Yeah, definitely. Some of it does, but that's fine. It's always in a very educational setting,
right?
You know what I mean? It's everything I approach and the way that I approach and the things that like if you Google my name and stuff that I'm on with like YouTuber interviews and stuff like that, it's always in a very educational setting. So
you're in control of what you want exposed to.
Right. It's not it's not partying or drinking in some kind of wild way. It's people who are trying
to science and the love and the passion.
Yeah, people who are trying to train themselves as a lot of professionals and people trying to train themselves and like as if in any other profession.
Correct.
So they want my students 100% know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what role do you have now? Besides the certifications, the cicerone, and what was the other one? I'm sorry. Grandmaster.
Yeah, so beer judge for the BJCP.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
okay.
so I have a mead certification, and I also sit on the home governing committee for the American Mead Makers Association.
Oh wow!
So
I won't get Joe in here. He'll chat your ear off, and that'll be the end of it.
Yeah. So.
And mead's a very up and coming type of.
So mead is pretty amazing. I say this line a lot, and which is that mead reminds me of craft beer about 15 years ago.
Yes.
It's about to completely explode.
Yes.
And Long Island is situated to be one of the biggest mead destinations in the world.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. Well, we have so we have a growing mead community. We have probably some of the best mead judges in the country.
Yeah.
The other thing that is important, the reason I say that is because we have 60-plus wineries on Long Island. If you have a winery, you have a
mead license.
You have a mead license.
Yeah, they have a wine license.
Right.
Yeah.
They have the equipment, and they have the know-how to also make mead. So the minute that we get a couple more smaller commercial meaderies opening up on Long Island and start becoming popular, I guarantee you all those places are going to start making
all the wineries are going to start going.
And if half the
there's no more paperwork to file.
They could just do it. They have to do nothing.
Buy the ingredients and they're done.
I've talked to a couple of winemakers, some of the larger winemakers, and a lot of them are they're just vanity projects, really. Like, to be honest, like a lot of the wineries are kind of vanity projects. People who are like, like bond tradesmen and shit like that. So they end up, opening up a winery, so they can say they have a winery.
better than buying a yacht.
It's in my way.
Right. But you know, at the end of the day, they're business people and they wanna make money.
Well,
you
of
know
course. I mean, why else would they spend so much time and effort into doing that? Right.
Right, and they have equipment. They have the equipment, and the equipment that's necessary to make mead is the exact same equipment that's necessary to make wine. And for the most part, it's not being used for like 9 months out of the year. You know what I mean? So there's no reason why they couldn't extremely easily shift.
There's no growing season for honey.
Right. So they have
point.
So you have this equipment that's not being used that's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Sure.
It's just a no-brainer that you can make a session mead, like a 6 or 7% draft mead that they could put on tap and serve it to the customers and charge the same amount of money that they would charge for a glass of wine, and it's just that much more ability to make money. And I think once they catch on to that, and once one or two,
the return on investment will be very, very quick because, like I said, they already own the equipment, they already have the license. It's just the covering the cost of the ingredients.
Right.
So much. That's a nice little sweet side projects almost to just have another revenue stream.
Right. So I think it's only a matter of time before it explodes on Long Island. So it's something I'm very passionate
And I think
about.
that's just exposure for people that, it's not beer, it's not wine, it's not liquor. That, what do you think is holding it back? Is it just, you think, consumer awareness?
I think consumer awareness is one. But we are, I have in the last couple of years seen, getting past that, what is this? So when we serve it at festivals, or I go to festivals and I help serve meads, that we're getting past that what is this stage, which is that's the first part of it.
So what is your role right now towards that industry? Are you trying to promote it more?
Right.
Are you out there advocating for it?
Right.
State legislator, is there anything in the state that it's holding it back? What's
No, I mean no, I don't think so. I think the state's been very cooperative, and they just created a mead designation license for New York State, which is excellent and awesome. I think it's more of just the consumer demand for it. That I think the consumers, there's still not the consumer demand for it where it should be. In terms of the growth that's needed, but it will be there. There's no doubt in my mind that it will be there.
What do you think we need to do to get the consumer on board with that?
I think it's just exposure. Seeing it enough times. What was there to get consumers on board for hard seltzer. You know what I mean? It just
Never mind.
What happened? What happened?
What was there to get consumers on for hard seltzer?
Oh yeah, well now it's not. Now you got the Merry Clawmas. Everyone's on board. So
right, exactly.
Forget it.
I mean, right.
It's one of those things that probably needs to go viral.
Yeah, it once it takes off, it's going to take off.
Right, just like that.
Just like craft beer. Look,
Yeah.
when I joined LIBME, there was two craft breweries on Long Island, and now there's like 47. Or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yes, there is.
How does the state having a new license? How do you think that helps the
just the fact that they're recognizing that there's actual meaderies. I mean, in the state liquor laws, there was nothing. There was literally nothing that referenced mead.
Right.
There was.
They didn't acknowledge it was a thing.
No, it was like if you made.
It would be the same license as a winery,
right?
The Vintner's license, or
right. The laws were like if you made wine but also used honey. It was like some kind of It was like this, some kind of subclause. Like if you used wine that also used honey,
then you
blah 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 blah. Right. So like that's kind of what was been used for like ever, and then just the fact that they're recognizing that this is a separate entity. Yeah. No. It's good. It's a good thing. Things are going in the right direction, and I think things are ready to pop.
Awesome. What do you think the future is for that industry, even in the craft beer? Do you think here on Long Island we're at we mentioned the bubble popping, but really at a plateau? Like,
right.
what do you see as the future of craft beer and even at that point mead on Long Island?
It's hard to say. I mean, craft beer has taken so many turns. The market is contracting. Clearly. Does that mean that a lot of breweries are going to start closing? Who knows? You know what I mean? Breweries are very localized right now.
Yes, we say hyper local, like town breweries.
Yeah, that's kind of what they are. A lot of breweries are making a lot of their money off of just their tasting room.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, Long Island, we have, whatever, 7 million people on Long Island or 8 million people on Long Island.
Plenty of customers.
Right. There's plenty of customers that can sustain that. So it's hard to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll see where it goes. And hopefully it's in a positive direction.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What is this? Yeah, hold it over the computer. That's a great idea.
Cash, you'll be off in 38 minutes again.
38 minutes. There you go. Pass it.
Cheers.
Is that yours? Okay, good. All right. What do you think overall of our scene here in New York, or just on Long Island in general?
What's the craft beer scene in Long Island is amazing. It's like I said. So New York State has the second most breweries of any state in the country, second only to California.
Yeah.
Suffolk County has the most breweries of any county in New York State.
Jesus.
So yeah,
really? Does it really?
Absolutely.
Wow.
I mean, it's the most populous county in the state.
Well, Nassau County there's 5. Is there only 5 or 6?
There's only a couple.
What the hell?
If there's 5, I'd be surprised. I didn't think there was that many.
Garvey's, Noble, Brew SA, Barrier,
Oyster Bay,
South Shore.
Oyster Bay, and wait,
South Shore.
Oh yeah, South Shore opened.
Yeah.
Ocean's opening soon.
Flying Belgium, and then what's the one that's the one that I'm missing?
In
Bethpage.
No, that's Barnshed.
Barnshed.
Up in
Oyster Bay?
North Shore. No.
All the way up there, but that's
Suffolk.
No,
isn't
it?
That's
is that like Lloyd Harbor or Old Tappan?
Old Tappan.
Old
Thank
Tappan,
you.
yeah.
Is that Old Tappan? All right, so it's really under 10.
Right, compared to the 40.
Right, sure, yeah.
What do you think that is for? Why do you think that is?
I haven't the slightest clue.
I don't think property value.
I'm going to say taxes. I was going to say...
property, I would say, is more expensive. I don't know.
If I can... You know what? I will say this, that of the commercial breweries that are in Suffolk County, there's a good portion that have come out of the homebrew club scene.
And
a lot of them...
I was going to connect it to them because this is so strong tonight. Right. There was how many people here? Probably close to 40, 50?
Probably about that, maybe 50. Yeah, maybe about 50.
So many of them, and more so than, I think it's brewers, not beer, home brewers and hand grenades. Those show strong, presence at the festivals. Are they as connected as the LIBME, or is it?
Oh, definitely. They're all definitely connected. We all have a close relationship. But I will say that of all the homebrew clubs on Long Island, for whatever reason, that LIBME has the most commercial breweries coming out of our club.
So it's the most graduation rate.
Something like 14 or 15 commercial breweries that come out of our club, and it is growing. You know what I mean? It's and I don't know exactly why.
Chris is not starting his own, but being a head brewer at his own.
Yeah.
Chris Dolan at BrickHouse.
At BrickHouse, yeah.
You got Ryan from 27A. Mm-hmm. And like I said, the list goes on. I could probably go through a bunch more, but
you know what I mean. So,
which is awesome. I mean, that's
it's great.
A testament to what you guys are doing with the club and constantly having these meetings and talking and generating, comparing. Exchanging notes, exchanging ideas. That's a big deal.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I remember, I invited when Destination Unknown Brewery first opened up. I remember I invited Chris and Brad to come talk to one of our club meetings, and they came and talked to one of our club meetings. And then afterwards, they were looking around, and it was like, oh, so this is the community. You know what I mean? I remember them saying that. You know what I mean? There's
this is where it all came from.
Right. Right. So it's oh, okay. You know what I mean? And just
Now it makes sense.
Right, because it happened to be a meeting where a lot of our old members came who were current current brewery owners and stuff like that. Yeah. So I do like to think that LIBME has a piece to do with the growth
a direct influence.
Absolutely
100%.
a direct influence on the amount of breweries that open in Suffolk County. But just going back to the math, what I said before, so that makes Suffolk County one of the most densely not populated, but the most amount of breweries of any county in the country.
Yeah.
You put a top 10 list together, and we're probably going to be on that.
Yeah, San Diego, and then you, and then Suffolk. Yeah. I mean, there's a couple others here and there, but I bet Colorado maybe, but
sure.
Not, statewide, New York, but county-wise, it might be up there, top 5.
I don't know.
Say it's up there.
Yeah, I wouldn't know, but it's a lot. To have. Whatever, I think we have 40 in Suffolk County or something like that. That's crazy. That's a lot.
When we talk to people,
especially a smaller county is.
Absolutely. Yeah. When we talk to people through our show, we have phoners that come into our studio, and we have our studio shows. People from all over the country, we talk about that same concept. So what's the local scene like? What's going on? How many breweries do you have? we always find, like, unless you're in San Diego, they're not comparing to what we got going on here.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's pretty incredible.
We talked to Sig Lusher down in Kentucky. I mean, it's them and an hour and a half away, and that's it.
Sure.
So it's kind of crazy how it ends up being, this is like one of the meccas of craft beer.
It really is. Yeah. And we're not nationally recognized for whatever reason. I mean, San Diego is, and we're not.
They're more commercialized too.
Maybe. I'm not really sure. But yeah. Hey, look, I'm happy I'm here.
Awesome. So let's turn our attention to Ryan. Ryan, you had a little bit of an introduction tonight, so tell us a little bit about you. I was over there at the doorway just talking, listening to them introducing you. So why don't you give us your introduction and tell us a little bit about your background and what you do and how you're associated here with the LIBME.
So on the level of dignitaries, I would probably qualify as a peon.
Nice. I like the dignitary word.
I've been involved with the club for going on about 2.5 years now. I'm the member director of LIBME, Long Island Beer and Malt Enthusiasts. We're one of the largest homebrew clubs in the country. It's really hard to narrow down exactly where we sit in the pantheon of homebrew clubs because the data's not really there. But when we talk to other people, they say, we got 19, 15 members, and last year we had like 163,
right.
In LIBME. So
paid members coming to meetings here and there, yeah.
Charter members, tri-club members.
That's what you call charter members, yeah.
Charter member is what we call inside the club. I'm a home brewer. I love entering competitions. Win a ribbon here and there.
Nice.
For work, I'm a real estate broker at a local company.
Okay.
And just provides me plenty of opportunity to brew and
also consult with people that want to maybe start their own breweries.
Yeah, actually.
And then you can check out real estate for them and commercial real estate. And
sure, I'm always there to help.
Nice.
I'm the guy at the cast festivals and the homebrew clubs and stuff like that. That's sitting there yelling, "Hey, you got an empty glass? Come fill it up. Come check us out. Come talk to us." So I'm kind of the salesman of the group.
Oh, there you go. So how long have you been with the LIBME?
Going on about 2.5 years now.
Okay.
You've been brewing for going on 3 now.
Are you doing mostly homebrew stuff or participating in some of the collective brews that you guys? I noticed we were talking to Greg earlier, and they did something back in October, November time where all met up, did your mash in, did everything from, I forget where it was.
At 27A, right? The Wort share?
No, it was the other one. You were in a tent in a backyard, it looked like. But everyone,
the Steinbrew.
Yes, the Steinbrew, yeah.
So I didn't take any of the Steinbrew Wort, but of course I go. I show face and stuff like that. As a very fluid schedule and whatnot.
Right.
But yeah, I'll go to all those. I'll try to grab what I can. Get involved. But I do like to let new members and other people participate. I think I signed up for all 3 events we have coming up just because I like to brew. I got a lot of beer to brew now. I got 4 things in fermenters right now. But
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you gotta kind of.
And you still brew? You still do stuff here and there?
I mostly just do mead.
Okay. All right. Oh wow. So you're doing more mead yourself now?
Oh yeah. That's it's just for years.
Oh yeah.
Really dumb question.
Yeah.
Sure. So please take it with a grain of salt. What do you think is going to be if mead explodes and that becomes popular? What do you think the New England IPA of mead is like? What's the hazy boy?
What's the hazy boy of
meads?
Of meads?
It's funny that you mentioned that because I was just talking to somebody. I haven't the slightest clue that when New England IPAs came out, I was like, "What is this?" You know what I mean? And now they're like these.
I love them, so feel free to talk all the trash to me.
No, that's
because
that's fine.
It's all accurate.
Knock me down a few.
That's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's you like what you like. Like I've never been up for someone who's been put boundaries up around beer. Like people like macro.
Or around what you like.
People
like
what
you like.
Yeah, people like you. Look, you want to go buy a 30-pack of like Miller High Life? Like knock yourself out. Like I don't care. You know what I mean? That's
grapefruit.
Right, that works for you. That works for you.
He did bring a 36-pack to Steinbrew just so he could leave it at Justin's house.
Yeah.
Just a shotgun. Everyone had to do a shotgun.
But the point that I was trying to make is that like I was talking to somebody. So like the club has a raffle. At every one of our meetings, and we had one of the predominant beers of the area, and it was like a Berliner Weiss with like raspberries and vanilla and granola and strawberry jam and
a lot
cheesecake and on top of like maple syrup barrel. I was like, it was like the
On a
most like
waffle.
right, like on a waffle. And I was like, and I just turned to somebody. I was like, would you ever predicted like 2 or 3 years
That
ago
was what
that
people
that would
want.
be the beer that people. This is like insanity.
I know,
You know what I
it's-
mean?
it's
Like
crazy.
who would ever? I have so to answer your question. What would ever be popular? I haven't the slightest clue.
I had nothing. I don't know.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at something up about SNL. They did that taco with a pancake and then a crepe, and then everything's in a sack, and they dump guacamole in it. It just reminds me of that. Like you just have this big bag of shit, just
Everything.
and there's
All the
everything,
things
and
in the
enjoy
beer.
all of that.
It's always It's completely surprising to me what the public.
Oh, it's
goes
called
for.
Taco Town. Hold on, I got the clip here. Here. Oh boy, it's not too loud.
New at Taco Town. We take a crunchy all-beef taco, smother it in nacho cheese, lettuce, tomato, and our special southwestern sauce. Then we wrap it in a soft flour tortilla with a layer of refried beans in between.
So it's a
Then
was
we
it
wrap
double
that
stuffed
in a
taco?
savory
That's what it is?
corn tortilla with a middle layer of Monterey Jack cheese.
Awesome.
And it gets even awesomer when we take a deep-fried gordita shell, smear on a layer of our special guacamole sauce, and wrap that around the outside.
This is pretty big.
It gets bigger because we bake it in a corn husk filled with pico de gallo, then wrap that in an authentic Parisian crepe filled with egg, Gruyere, merguez sausage, and portobello mushrooms.
Can I eat it now?
Sure. But not before we take the whole thing and wrap that in a Chicago-style deep dish meat lover's pizza.
Pizza? Now that's what I call a taco.
Well, it's not a Taco Town taco until we roll it up in a blueberry pancake, dip it in batter, and deep fry it until it's golden brown. Then we serve it all in a commemorative tote bag filled with spicy vegetarian chili. It's 15 great tastes all rolled into one.
It's the cuvee of
Yeah,
tacos.
pretty much everything. Like
Yeah, basically.
it starts with just like a taco, and you're like, cool, I got a lager here, and now
Right.
what are we gonna do with it? Well,
Right.
we're gonna wrap it in a
Put
fucking
all the things in it.
blueberry pancake. It's like what? What is the most popular mead? What would people be like if you had to guess right now in the mead community? What would be the most popular thing people would want?
There's really nothing. And
It's just all over the place, huh?
It really is. All the things that things are growing by leaps and bounds. And every time someone does something,
and the popularity is all over the place.
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
It really is. You know what I mean? It's the community's small enough, and the amount of meaderies are, small enough. They're doing like crazy experimental stuff, and just things are changing very, very fast and rapidly, and it's pretty cool and exciting. It's very exciting to be a part of and to witness.
Speaking of very experimental, what have you learned from the LIBME that has kind of made you more experimental for, what you were doing into what you are doing now?
Just about everything. We have a lot of different things that we do where, like our chopped competition, for example.
I heard a little bit about it when they were talking about it, but we were setting up and getting ready. So
sure. So this past year of Chopped, I was a head brewer, and we got honey and hot peppers. So for
make a mead.
well, basically, so what we decided to do, and we were also an American Pale Ale, so I got some
okay.
Scotch bonnets, and I've never really eaten a Scotch bonnet just as a Scotch bonnet, so I decided to film myself eating a Scotch bonnet.
How did that go?
Not very good. I actually put a little video of it up on my Instagram and stuff, and my father-in-law loves watching it and showing all his friends because he says, this is just unbelievably hysterical. But there's a lot of different things that we get out and we do, differently because of, the Chopped, getting random ingredients, just expanding your horizons.
Experimental and forced experimentation.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
It turned me on. I did a kettle sour just recently. I've never done a kettle sour. I figured let's expand some horizons, so to speak, and did a Sadi, an old historical beer. Had to find some juniper that wouldn't poison people. And a little homework and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that the club does that pushes you to be experimental and try new things.
When I first got into home brewing, went to Carp's Home Brewing in East Northport.
Oh yeah, I know.
And, right, yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to Alan, the owner there, and I was like, I'm thinking about joining a club. He's like, you should join a club because your knowledge is going to go from here, and he holds his hand very low, to here, holds his hand very high. in a very, very short amount of time. And I remember that sticking with me. I was like, huh. And I joined the club, and within a year, my knowledge just exploded. And, you know, if you're somebody who wants to learn more about craft beer, you're someone who wants to learn more about homebrewing, but even if you're just not a homebrewer, if you're someone who just wants to be, like our club is a Long Island beer malt enthusiast. It's not a homebrew club.
Right.
It's a beer and malt appreciation club.
Which
and
could
we're
be
also a cider.
anything that falls in
Right.
between that's using that, right?
It's just
like beer.
Right.
Right, exactly.
So do you want to learn more
primarily
about
beer, but
right,
still,
yeah.
there's a lot of room for expansion there.
So do you want to learn more about it? If it's something that you're interested in, then you should belong to a club, and you should come to club meetings, which are 100% free.
And it's a fucking great time tonight. I mean, I haven't even been in the room, but I heard hooting and hollering, woo girls all over the place. It's kind of crazy. And we've been sitting here, hanging out, and it sounds like a
So
lively
much
group.
hooting.
And
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that we know in there.
There's different types of meetings. There's more meetings that are more social and kind of hooting and hollering, everybody hanging out and eating pizza, and there's ones that are more educational, where we have presentations and guest
Which
speakers.
is really
and,
cool. Like
you
that's
learn a lot
really
about,
a big deal with the
Yeah.
education part.
Right.
Even if you like you said, open to the public. Even if you want to just come through and just kind of
get a free class.
Yeah, get a free class out of it. It's something that you don't have to join right away, but once you come a couple of times and you realize how deep the science gets,
yes,
and how much you can nerd out on it, you probably are going to want to be part of this.
Yeah, and it's also nice when we get guest speakers to come in and they serve,
Absolutely,
you know. So I remember like I think it was November, we had Ryan Niebuhr from Remarkable Liquids come in.
Yep.
And he's like, let me
good
tell you
one.
about all our new products. And yeah, he had like 12, he served us like 12
Yes,
different
please.
beers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Served us like 12 different beers from like, McKellar and
Yep.
Gun Hill, and I forget some of the other ones.
We have Gun Hill coming in
Yeah.
a few weeks.
And it was pretty amazing. And he's sitting there talking, and he's like he's riffing for like 90 minutes, and we're all trying it and talking about it, and it was really super cool.
Awesome. What have you seen now over the last 2 years that's really expanded your portfolio? What are the things besides that Chop Challenge you were talking about? What are the things that really pushed you? And then, I guess my biggest question is, what's your ambition here? What's the end game of what you want to do?
So the things that have pushed me the most, things like the Cask Festival. It's amazing what you can do on a homebrew scale and how creative you can get, because
I've been to a few of the Blue Point Cask Festivals and stuff like that, and obviously you've gone right down the line on all of the homebrew clubs and gone, holy shit, like there's some stuff that people are doing that's unbelievable.
nacho beer, Neapolitan. So there's so many things. you can
Dirty Water Dog. Remember
Dirty
Water Dog?
There's
Beer,
so many things you can do, and that really pushes you, because now it's like, well, wait a minute, what can I do?
Right.
What can
How am I
come
going
up
to stand
with?
out?
Yeah. How can I
in
stand
the
out?
row of other people that are doing or have the same ambition?
And absolutely, and like Andrew said, we have so many people who went from the club to being professional brewers. We have people in the club now who could be professional brewers. Who, I'm sure we've all gone to some local places that are like, hey, the beer's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And there are people here who do a homebrew, and you're like, wow, this is one of the best things I've ever had. Me personally, I do this as a hobby. If I could pay the bills, opening a brewery, great, that'd be wonderful. But it's a lot of money, and right
You
now
think?
we know it is. So it's just the opportunity of being around people who are going to open a brewery.
Right.
Being here, look at this place. Everything that the club offers is, the ambition, for me is just to get better as a brewer, and learning from people like Andrew, like Greg, a bunch of other people who've gone out. I went to, talked with a member who opened a brewery the other day, gave me a great feedback on my beer.
You want to name drop? Go ahead, name drop.
Ryan Cook, 27A,
There you
man.
go.
I make
There's
some
our boy.
phenomenal IPAs. I can't, I'm a haze boy myself.
Yep.
I love it. I wish I had some of the one that I brought earlier. It already went. I'd give it to you guys. But that's one of the things. Like just talking to them, learning the little things. It's the little differences. Yeast cell counts, pitch rates, things of that nature. And you know what? You can read online. You can go on Wikipedia. You can go on.
But
Facebook
it doesn't
groups.
work until you do it, and you do it for yourself, and you learn from it.
Somebody has always done it better. Like they say, like a quote, right? Somebody says it better every time.
Yep.
Like a music lyric or something like that. Somebody's brewed better. And learning from them, and a little tip, a little trick, and then making it your own, and saying, like Andrew, as a mead judge, I made my first mead already, this past
Really?
year. And
Did you try it?
He did, and he goes, "Don't enter this into a competition."
I was going to say, what'd you say?
It was, he may not even remember it. I wanted a Pinot Noir type wine. There was very little sweetness, very little honey character.
Okay.
Would not do well in a mead competition, but it was
'cause
what
they
I
want that.
wanted. It was how I wanted, and I wouldn't have even been able to accomplish that if it wasn't for people like Andrew and other, and Joe Bruzzo and a couple of people in the club.
Oh,
giving
Joe,
their
yeah.
knowledge.
How about him?
Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's all right.
He's all right. He's all right. So give us the big plug on, kind of what you guys are up to. Are you going to continue with the homebrew club? Are you going to expand a little bit on, what you want to do? Give us that big one. We'll start with Andrew.
Yeah. So we got a couple things coming up. We're currently hosting a cider judge.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, cider judge
that's
certification class. Kristen Norn from Starfish Junction is holding it. And,
wait, who is?
Kristen
Oh,
Norn
Kristen, yeah,
from
okay.
Starfish.
Yeah.
So she's doing.
I
a
know
phenomenal
Andy and we communicate a lot. Yeah.
So she's the one. I'm helping her out, as an assistant, and she's the one. She's doing a great job training everybody, and so we have a cider judge
Very cool.
certification exam in February.
Is the Brew Babe? Is Michelle going to do it?
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I hope so.
Hey, Brew Babe, do it.
Yeah.
She should be a cider judge.
Sure.
Unless she gets sick all the time on very little gluten, and then there's a problem. But anyway, go ahead.
And then in February and March, April and May, we're looking at doing a mead judge.
That's cool.
Yeah, mead judge certification class. And then we're really, really super excited about in April 25th, LIBME and Starfish Junction is hosting a mead competition. So a mead-only competition at Belmont Racetrack.
Excellent. Cool.
On April 25th. It's going to be commercial meads.
Okay.
And homebrew meads.
Ah.
Yeah, so there's only a handful of commercial mead competitions in the world.
Yes.
So we're going to be one of them. So we're really, really super excited about that. And then we got a beer judge certification program going on in June, July, and August as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then also we're helping Joe and Roger with the mead festival in
Yes, they do
Lindenhurst
the mead festival, yeah.
in August.
I was in Aruba when they did it, and I
Mhm.
was so pissed off. I'm like, God damn it! They're like, you come down and broadcast from it. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to be in the country. Fuck.
Yeah.
I live literally.
It was a lot of fun.
4 blocks away.
Yeah, yeah. I helped
He
them.
grew up in Lindenhurst. I live in Lindenhurst now. It's one of the things that we support the local spot. So
it's nice.
100%.
Yeah, I helped them organize it, and it was an amazing festival.
I heard.
We're looking forward to it being bigger and better this year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Ryan, anything to add?
I want to grow membership. The knowledge and the things and the advancement of my own brewing techniques and beer knowledge that I've gained from being in the club. The salesman in me just says, I got to get more people involved in the club. I got to get more people to know about us. Like you guys were talking about, the home brew or the commercial beer scene versus Suffolk County and San Diego. Well, I want us to become one of the premier homebrew clubs.
It's funny. It's people probably sitting at their homes right now that homebrew that don't even know about this. They just don't. They're just not exposed to it. They don't have social media. They don't know it even exists. And they're just like, I'm cool. I want to brew a Mr. Beery kit. Or I want to go to the Brooklyn Brew Shop and get that brew kit. And they don't even know that you guys are a thing that they should be part of and come down to the meetings, learn more, 100%. And then expand their horizons.
If you're a home brewer, you should come to one of our meetings. I mean, it's just as
Oh,
simple as that.
Yeah, it really
you
is.
really should. If you're a beer enthusiast, you should come to one of our meetings. If you like craft beer and you like people who are into craft beer, you should come to one of our
Pete
meetings.
and I are probably looking to expand our horizons here in 2020. So maybe we become part of the
you
the
should,
club.
man.
Everybody. I honestly think everybody should.
It'd be just for the education alone. Just the education alone.
Yeah.
Priceless.
Right, exactly.
Priceless.
To be more educated to then speak to our guests and
Absolutely.
when they're talking about certain things that we have no fucking clue what they're talking about.
Right.
It makes a lot of sense to be part of that.
It does.
Yeah. Anything else to add before I got a piece so bad. I'm up to like.
Hey man, I'm not going to
see
keep
the
you
yellow
from going
in
to the
my
bathroom.
eyes.
You gotta go. You gotta when nature calls, brother.
Ryan, Andrew, thanks so much for being on. This is the Wort with Mike and Pete, GovsRadio.com. We're live here at Secatogue Brewing Company in West Islip. We're here at the LIBME annual meeting, and we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after these few messages.
Govs Radio. You're listening to Govs Radio, streaming live 24/7. Visit govsradio.com for our show schedule and upcoming studio events. Govs Radio. You're listening to The Wort on Govs Radio.
Hey, moron, it's pronounced the Wort.
What the hell is a wort?
It's pronounced the Wort.
What is it? The wort? Yeah, okay, I'll do that again. This is the Wort on Govs Radio.
It is the Wort, not warts, not forts, not short, the Wort.
I'm sorry, I just don't know what that means. When do you guys start drinking?
Who says we haven't been drinking?
Where's mine? If I say it correctly this time, can I have a drink?
We'll think about it.
You're listening to the Wort on Govs Radio.
Holy balls. Hi, it's the Wort with Mike and Pete, GovsRadio.com. We are live here at Secatogue Brewing, and with us at the table, after speaking with Andrew.
Now the fun begins.
Oh, boy.
And Ryan.
Why are you panning? Why are you panning?
Only my left ear.
Oh, I touched things twice. That's my bad. Go ahead, talk.
Is that better? There we go.
Stop touching yourself.
I did.
Oh,
I touched my Zoom.
I know
very,
it's tempting.
Very.
Dude, can I just say something? Would
Go
you
ahead.
stop
Do you
letting
have to?
Pete have to sit there for like a half an hour and have that look of a scared cat
Why did he have
with
a
a
scared
car
cat?
coming at him with the
What
lights
did he
on,
do?
fucking brights?
What are you talking
When he's
about?
done with a segment, sometimes he just got that look like, what did I just go
Well,
through?
Deer in the headlights look.
He's filled up to his
You had
half his
fucking
eyeballs with piss.
Grandmaster
That's the
Flash
problem.
and Bubba Ball, whatever you had.
Bubble. No, first of all, it was Andrew and Ryan who gave us some really great information.
Well, who are they?
So Ryan is a member, a charter member of the LIBME, and
Okay.
Andrew is a Grandmaster
Grandmaster
and
Flash.
Yes, Grandmaster Flash, right?
All right.
And Master Cicerone.
Yes, and Master Cicerone.
And me judge.
And me judge.
all of the judges.
And
we
all
heard
of the
all
judges.
about the mead.
So he talked a shit ton about mead, and
yeah.
I was like, I want to get.
I want to ask you the
fucking
same
Joe
question I
around
asked
here.
him.
Yeah.
What is going to be the hazy boy of mead? Like, what's going to be the New England IPA of mead?
I honestly don't know. I'm trying to figure
Does
that out right now.
anybody
You got that
know?
magic honey.
It is.
I need a job.
You got the locally grown honey.
Maybe the honey seltzer.
Oh.
There you go. Get
So
all those
a-
white chicks
a
just
white
fucking dripping.
Happy
So
Columbus.
I'm not gonna lie.
Dropping
We may
panties.
or may not have a honey seltzer in the works.
Why wouldn't you?
And
Oh,
you
God.
do, and by the way, you do have it in the works, and that's what you're trying to tell us.
Ah, the mead works.
W-E-R.
That pun was actually non-intended.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
I swear to God, I would.
Was
I
that
would-
You
was-
and
was
Roger
that
just
was on
sat
the
there
Instagram
all
story
day,
today,
like,
or-
what are we gonna do? What are we gonna call it?
Was
No,
it meady seltzer?
Ooh, I need a seltzer.
Hey, Barrage, hey, I bought you. I bought
Barrage,
everybody.
what
I bought everybody a
This is why we don't
4-pack
serve
of
him,
Barrage.
Ken.
Fuck, is there
What?
assistant? Is
I have a
Steve's
4-pack.
assistant brewer still
Yeah.
here?
I have a 4-pack
We
of
bring him
Yada
in.
Yada.
I'm
Yada
so
Yada
upset.
Graz.
and Barrage.
Yeah. Oh, you do.
Hey,
What?
I'm so
can you let
goddamn
Kenny
disappointed.
talk?
Yes. Well, we're gonna.
We work Kenny to this table. We're trying to let Kenny talk.
I'm trying to interconnect segments,
and you're bullying the
I
microphone.
just want my
Kenny.
Barrage 4-pack. It's in the back. I don't know where it is.
Wait, what back?
Oh, it's
Here?
in the walk-in.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, Kenny's got
I'll
it.
be back in an hour.
Cool.
You're gonna find him passed out in the.
Lock the door.
Yeah. Lock it down. Lock it down. So we'll get back to you in a moment. Ken, you. Well, we've talked to you almost over a year ago
Over a year
now.
ago, right? That was
I
last-
remember looking back and I said,
Prior to
"Shit, this
opening?
is season one.
Right.
You were on season one before you were even open.
Last
You're a
fall,
little
yeah.
busier now.
Yes.
A little bit.
Little bit.
You turned out to have a great spot. Great lineup of beer. Every time I'm here, I have something new, and I'm like, "Fucking A, you asshole!"
Very nice tap room.
You did a great
Which
job.
I don't know if that's not touched upon enough. I think
It's clean. It's clean. It's
Classier.
bright. It's someone wants
You're
to
at a
spend a
classy
lot of
joint,
time in.
Ken.
Classy joint here.
I want to give all the credit to your wife because she really did come up with the concept of how people want to be here and stay
Right.
here. And then if you look behind us as we have been all night, you obviously had to design a lot of what's going on behind us,
Yeah.
and that alone kind of speaks a lot about your experience and what you need to put into this and what you're producing out of here. And the reason why my wife decided to have my 40th birthday here is because I love to be here and I love the atmosphere. I love everything about it, and it's one of the places that within a small radius from my house, it's where I would want to go. It's a place I want to come visit. There's a couple others. We're not going to do. Are we going to do this now?
No, I'm just.
Or are you just going to put this
Can
out?
I take one home and save it
take
forever?
the
price tag off.
The price tag
I'm
off.
sorry, it's part of my prep joke.
Yeah.
I got you,
R.I.P.
Did you get this at Superstar?
Was it Superstar or was it? Did you go to Fine Fair?
I actually went to your guy in
Fine Fair?
Amityville.
Oh,
the guy on Route 109. I think it's getting towards Sunrise Highway.
Thank you.
I like them. They treat you very nice.
You out? All right, great.
They listen
Thanks
to
a
the
lot,
show,
man.
by the way.
I'll talk. I know they do.
They said the guy. They said Joe with the mead fucking douche. Sorry.
I'm actually really
very
nice
harsh.
guy.
Yeah.
Very harsh.
You know, like behind the scenes, I'm a
I
good,
know you
good
are.
dude.
I can't wait for the Graz and Joe show.
I'm so
coming up.
sensitive. You always try to hurt my feelings.
No, you know what's gonna be? It's gonna be the Graz, Joe, and Bobby show. Bobby from Barrier.
Are you leaving with those?
Dude,
Because-
that's
Dude,
gonna
Bobby
be a
from
fucking
Barrier?
killer show between
I
the three of you.
love Bobby from Barrier.
No, I know.
I
He's
want to do a
maniac.
show out. I want to do honestly. I want to do a show out of here.
Yeah.
And I want to do a show out of Charlie's place, 1940.
right,
You should do a show.
I
out of
want
your
to do a
dad's place.
show out of there.
It should start with Charlie.
And your adoptive father's.
I would like to do limo talk out of here one night. We do very well.
I'm surprised you haven't done it out
Listen,
of Charlie's
I
place
think
already.
We did a Gubs radio thing. We'd have 100 people in here. I think so.
Ooh.
50 to 100.
Well,
Tell
you
the
get a
fire
lot of.
marshal.
We didn't say any of that. This
Thanks,
is
Graz.
all hearsay. So yeah, I mean, so leaps and bounds on what the brewery has become, from what you put together here to what you're producing in there. Give us a little, like synopsis from when you were on to when you are now. And I know it's such a tremendous amount of things that have happened.
Yeah.
So give us the background.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. But I feel like for us, it hasn't been a while.
No,
but for
'cause it
for the audience in the show
Right.
that saw us with you in the red room to where we are now.
That
and
was
this
what, like November,
come
right?
to fruition.
So we didn't open it. We opened in May, first weekend in May.
Yeah.
We were open for 3 weekends, and we had to close because we ran out of
beer.
Those good problems.
Right. Good.
What was your quote for 27A when they opened?
Grand opening, grand closing.
Exactly.
Yeah, he said it the day we
I'm
because
like,
we were
yeah.
at the soft.
I'm like, good luck with this. Grand opening, grand closing.
Right.
We were
I feel
there
real-
the night before they opened, and Joe came in late night and he said it like
I got
4
roped in that
times.
one.
Yeah, he said it like 4 times. It's like, dude, you got to have enough prep back. But
I hope you fucking.
and you
close
came out
tomorrow.
strong with it.
I
Was it
opened with
8?
6 taps.
6 taps. Okay.
Weekend 2 was 8 taps.
Yeah.
And then
It was
weekend
fucking crowded.
crowded. Ran through so much beer. Basically sold more than I could ever possibly produce in a week.
Right. Right. Good problems.
So week 3, we supplemented that with some guest taps.
Yep.
From Dubco. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
And then, end of the day, Sunday, week 3, we had 7 kegs left in the walk-in. One of those was a Dubco.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, we got to make the decision. We can't open with
The next week
with 3 different beer, know. So we took the week off. We recovered. We recuperated. We came back the next week. We had a full board, 10 beers.
And
we haven't had to close since.
Was it plan? Right, good. But it takes care for planning at that point. Like in week 2, you got to remember, like, all right, well, we might take the hit in week 3, but we're going to be fine for week 4 and week 5. So
Or even just sounds silly, like the brewery ran out of beer.
Yes,
Like
exactly. And, it kind of gets the hype train rolling a little bit.
It
'cause
does.
Like, oh
It
my
helps.
God, this brewery sold out.
They're so good that
supply and
Or it's
demand definitely
poor
helps.
planning.
Yeah.
No, they're so good.
The secret was it was poor planning. But yeah, in the end, I mean, it worked out. Obviously,
Right.
you guys are now on your rotation, so
Right.
you know
We're 8
what's
months
coming up,
in,
what's
we're,
going out.
We're fully rocking now.
Yeah.
We're even able to work in those little breaks where, like, all right, let's let this beer go a little longer.
Nice.
We got enough inventory. We don't have to push it. Let's sit. Let's let this beer.
What do you typically
relax.
hold back on? Do you stockpile like maybe 2 half barrels backup or stuff? Or,
Right. Yeah. I mean, we generally, we kind of know what beers are going to go when they're going to go.
Right.
We're like, this beer's got 2 days left. This beer's got a week left.
Right.
But then you get surprised where we had this Friday night, everybody was drinking our agave wit beer. And it's like, crap, I got
Surprise!
one keg of that left. God damn it. So, there's things and then there's things that we're
the middle
still
of fucking
learning.
December?
Exactly.
Right. Well, that was
the beer of the night.
That was the good problem to have
Right.
at that point.
Exactly.
That's an odd choice.
Yes. Hey, whatever.
Whatever.
We'll take it.
Something for everybody.
I mean, obviously now you planned out some events. You have
Yes.
food trucks out here almost every
day. Yeah.
Every day. I was going to say every weekend. but
Every
that's
weekend.
pretty
Every
much
day we're
day.
open, right? Yes.
Pretty much. Are you looking to expand opening times,
Probably
days of
not
the week?
for now. We're pretty good
For
with
the summer, spring.
We'll see what happens. With the summer, but for right now, Thursday through Sunday is working great for us.
Yeah.
We
You
need
get to have a few days for the family
right
and
I
brewing,
mean,
obviously.
Brewing, yeah, we're brewing 2 days a week right now. We're about to add extra fermentation space, so we can.
Where
start
are you going to put?
right
Where?
where we're sitting right now, pretty much. It's like
Okay.
right here.
Oh boy.
I
So
got
you're
a
going to
nice-
limit your.
Yeah, limit.
For
close
now.
this in a limit. We still got
5
the whole
feet.
other. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not bad. And then once the summer comes, we got the outside again.
Right,
which
that
is
definitely
great.
helps, yeah.
So we'll be brewing a little more once we get that extra tank. That's an extra brew day a week.
Yep.
So
It
it'll
makes a
get
big
busier.
difference. It makes a big
It's-
difference.
It's the easiest it'll ever be right now. And we're
Enjoy it while you
exactly.
can.
We're enjoying it. We're having
Jesus.
fun.
I mean, it's obviously good problems to have, but
Right.
You have like a very awesome board right now.
We
We're
like to keep
enjoying
it
the.
diverse.
You're
right, Joe.
Between the stout, the amber, the.
I'm wonderful.
Yeah. What's the matter? Are you having a little penis envy?
I just saw his eyes wandering.
I was just looking around, guys. It's okay.
All right.
No, it's
Do you
okay.
want to do you want to split that with me?
You can open it. Graz gave it to us. This is open.
I almost feel like I just want to hold on to this forever.
Forever,
Damn it.
yeah.
I know.
Can we talk
I'm
about it for a minute?
so upset.
Can we talk about it for a minute? Because you're wearing the hat and we're about to
Yeah,
drink the beer.
it's for me, it's a big deal.
I legitimately got to my wife. I'm like, I'm not like
I'm
upset
really sad about it.
Yeah.
So
You're not okay with it.
No,
No,
I'm
I'm
not.
fucking not
I know.
okay with it.
I know.
I'm an OG Long Island beer guy. Like I've been in this for a long time. So I knew Steve way before
Steve was Steve.
Steve was Steve. Yeah, it's crazy. It's fucking crazy. And Long Island's been super lucky to not have a closing yet. Really.
Right.
And I don't think
And the
this
fact
was.
that he's the first,
yeah, I don't think this was though.
It's not the. It's not the first.
Not the first.
But
Not the first.
It's
It's
the
the most painful.
It's the biggest.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the most. Yeah, it's the most hurtful one.
Here's what I think.
especially
And-
if
and
you've been.
can I go through speculation?
First,
Go ahead.
so Steve was the second guest we had on the show.
Yes.
And I've talked about this. I've really expanded my horizons on my palate for what I enjoy in the show. And before I started, I really didn't like IPAs. And then Steve came on and he brought an IPL.
Forced an IPL down your gullet.
IPL,
Yes,
I'm really not okay. And it fucking blew my mind. When I'd first moved to Farmingdale, I went to the brewery because that was about the time he'd opened up, and what wasn't my thing then.
It's like 6 years ago.
It was like 8 years ago, I think.
I think he opened like about six years ago.
He opened
had the
2014.
space.
Yeah.
I enjoyed a couple things. Wasn't this didn't have the palate I have now.
No.
He came on the show, had a fucking blast with him.
He is one of the most fun human beings I've
Absolutely.
ever got to spend time with.
I think he's been on the
Yes,
show
he
more
is.
than anybody else.
Yes,
Maybe
he has.
Charlie from
Yep.
1940s, but
No, he's
just
been on more than
really
Charlie.
opened my horizons with the Lager of Sin. I'm really not okay. His
Lions,
Fruited
Tigers,
Saisons.
Bears.
Well, first
Lions
off,
and Tigers and Bears.
Let's back up.
One of my
with all these
favorite.
new pastry stouts and all these fucking
He
pa-
fucking
pastry
started with the
boys.
goddamn Snickers.
He's the OG.
He's been doing
pastry
it since,
boy.
Yes.
Those were the first pastry stouts I had.
He
were
put
his.
fucking
Yes,
he put candy
anyone
bars in
that
beers.
on Long Island
before
that's
anybody
what you
else was
had.
doing
No,
that
not even
shit.
Long Island.
So
He
one
put
of the
candy bars
questions
in
I
beers
asked him
before
was,
anyone.
That's true.
like, how do you brew yada yada yada? And like he got so angry
Right.
talking about how he had to I had to go to the fucking store and I had to buy these giant bags of fun-size fucking Snickers.
Right.
Well, why, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Has anybody found out why it's?
Yeah,
you knew six. You turned to me. Wait, can I?
We don't want to release this on the air right now.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it off the air.
Did you just smug me off?
Oh, good.
Come on, man. You just shrugged me off.
All right, you have to
look-
go with me. I'm going there on Saturday. You have to go.
Yeah, you come with us on Saturday.
I'll be there. I'll be there around 4:30 till
4:30?
closing till I black out.
I might have to go back. I'm going in the
until
early
I'm
afternoon.
wearing one of the brew tanks on my shoulder.
Can you go on Friday night?
No, we're going Saturday.
Long story short,
might go fucking both.
another one.
All right.
You go.
Another one of the
I'll
OG
be there.
stories from Barrage.
Yeah.
Is that he has all those bar stools.
Yeah.
One of the bar stools is known as a nutsack bar stool. It has that nut as
It's
a
split in
has
the thing.
has a nutsack sewn into it. That nutsack will forever beat the meadery. Because Sunday night when people
I'm
were taking
it.
when people would steal shit, I'm like, Steve, can I take the nutsack? He's like, yeah. So the nutsack bar stool, and anyone who's been to Barrage for like the last 6 years, like, knows of the nutsack bar stool. It will be forever at the fucking Meadworks.
But they all talk so highly of him too.
Yeah, absolutely. He's like a godfather of
He's
beer on
winning.
Long Island.
He just won
He
a
won a fucking gold medal.
at the World Beer
Yeah.
Cup. Like,
first off,
So now wait a minute. Am I not allowed to ask you what happens next?
Yeah. So
Can I ask that?
let's not step away. Fuck what Steve's won medal wise.
Right.
Every brewery at some point that has opened after Steve has gone to Steve for advice.
Something.
And Steve has helped everyone.
Something.
Steve cleaned kegs for me 3 weeks ago.
Wait, and
Steve was like, "Oh, Jamie will clean
I
kegs."
have
You're
to
like,
tell you something. I noticed that from just being on the air, how they all went to him.
Yes.
And I
Yeah.
noticed that.
Godfather of
His
advice
original,
for pretty much
his
all,
original
yeah.
system is at Barnshed.
Okay.
Right.
Yes,
So
right.
now what happens next?
he goes back to his job. He focuses back on his job.
He
with
goes
fucking
back to
the
LIRR, yeah.
He's still
Hopefully he
working-
owns
he's still
another
work-
fucking brewery.
Yeah, but he's brilliant. Why not? He got to
Or
get him
he's a
back in.
consultant for most of the people, or he gypsy brews when he feels
He's not
like
gonna gypsy
it.
brew. He said to me the other night when
Yeah.
the lights go out on Sunday, the lights go out.
Okay.
Saturday, the lights go out.
That's it.
It's fucking
Like
sad.
I said, I'm not saying we can't convince him to do something
No,
else,
he-
but
Yeah.
that's what he said. That's what he said.
He's
to my
going to
face
step
then.
away for a little bit. He's going to and then realize he probably loved it
And then
more
we're all
than
going
he
to attack
thought.
him to make
And
yada
we're-
yada
right,
yada
right.
to gypsy brew back to yada somewhere.
Yeah, he's going to do
What's
a
the secret?
with Nightmare. He's going to make it a 14% yada yada yada.
Oh my God, that'd be
With
the best.
fucking,
The body of Christ.
Yeah.
Amen.
How's it going? Jesus Christ, that'd be
It's 5 years
unbelievable.
ashes, right here.
Made with real unsacramented hosts.
But at the end of the day, Steve has helped so many people in this industry,
Oh, yeah.
and Steve is the guy that everyone has gone to be like, Steve. And if you hung out with Steve, he could be a prick. I love that guy.
But
No,
wait a
but
minute. They
no,
talk
wait,
very.
that's
wait,
why we love him.
Hey, they
Hold
talk
on.
very highly of you.
Yeah.
They talk
I'll
very
show you a
highly.
picture,
Joe.
I'll show you a picture from a beer festival we did of me being drunk and Steve putting me in a chokehold.
Nice.
Well, I believe
Well, you
it.
probably
So, like,
deserve
it
it.
was
You
awesome.
probably deserve
Like,
it. I mean,
he's one of the best
Probably
human
Joe.
beings I know.
Yes.
Like, he's a pain in the ass, and I love the guy to death.
Yeah, but they talk very highly of him. You. They talk very highly of this guy right here, Secatogue. I mean, like that's what amazed me is how you guys all stuck together and helped each other, and it wasn't like what you were saying. James says he met everybody just by drinking. That's phenomenal.
As cliche as
It's
the
like
whole,
a cult.
as
Well,
cliche,
it's a community.
as cliche
It
as
is
the whole
community.
thing
Community is a cult.
I like community better than cult.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
I'm
still,
sorry.
same
Definitely.
concept.
Apologize.
I mean, you did the whole cliche thing. It's like super cliche, like the rising tide raises all ships. Like,
Sure.
if everyone makes cool alcohol, then we'll all be successful because Long Island will become a destination. There'll be a
It
lot
is
of cool
now,
places
and
to
it
go.
will always be. I think that one of the things that probably, and I'm just
Speculating.
speculating, not speculating. Speculating is positioning of where the brewery is. First of all, one of the things that really separates, let's say, Secatogue from some of the others, or even who we talked to, BrickHouse or 27A, is that there's foot traffic and there's the ability to get there, easeability of location, is that it's a really like tucked away place. So unless you're
You're
really
saying the
directly going there
customers
for
of
to be there.
T&J Auto Body
Yes, correct.
are not.
Yeah, unless you're working for them, it's not a place where you go unless you know about it. So you don't get exposed to it unless you're following on Instagram.
Underrated.
Right.
Yeah, 100%. And even though he's at every festival, those festivals we all know. Come on, at Nassau Coliseum, we've been to a couple of them.
They're all drunk idiots looking to
They're
see
just
get drunk, blackout
what's
drunk.
the
on
highest
Friday.
alcohol you
go
have.
and hang out and get hammered.
Not every-
and we've had fun at those. And Pete and I also discussed after the year ended that we're going to refocus our efforts on the ones that the community that is part of it. So like Bats and Brews, phenomenal fucking.
Best. One of the best events of the year.
As I heard.
That event is
some of
sick.
the ones that are just at the Cast Festival at Blue Point. We want to be
So
part
much
of that.
fun.
It's just one of those community.
Dubtoberfest.
I want to do
Dubtoberfest.
that next year
That
for
was
sure.
fantastic.
So
And you got the
we were
Cask
so
Fest.
pissed off that we didn't get to go to that.
We got the Cask Fest coming up at the Brewers Collective as well.
Right, correct. We were just talking to James about that before, yeah. We're not. I'm not sure. He's having a baby in like
Newborn.
3 weeks.
I heard
so
it's
I'm not
newborn
sure.
friendly.
Mike, you do by yourself.
I can do everything.
You're
by
a
myself.
man.
This
You're
is
an
all
adult.
me, by the way. I'm just letting you know.
Bring Graz.
Fuck Graz.
I'll help you out.
You can help me out. No, I'll bring Tom, and I'll bring, I'll bring Steve from Barrage. Steve will come down and hang out.
Fuck
Listen, we already offered him the third chair at every show we ever did, right?
Him and Charlie have a fucking
open invitation at any time to come down and hang out. So he'll know that by the time it's all said and done.
Dude, he had a post that, oh, we canned 3 beers today. I replied with like a smile emoji. I'm like, that's awesome. I love Charlie's beers. I got a response back like 5 minutes later. I want to bring a case to the next show.
All right.
He showed up with a case of beer.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
That's the way it works.
Later, Dave.
Dave's cold
beer soda.
In Belport.
Hey. Later. All right, this guy. You get patchy for douchebag. Yeah, you want to say it again? All right, we'll get it.
Patchy for douchebag.
Good night. Enjoy.
Later, Wiz.
He was Longbeard, right?
No, it's Wizard.
Wizard, that's right. All right.
Wizard Romney.
Wizard Romney.
That's right.
His family's a fucking, I don't know, most healthful human beings in the world.
Any relation to like Mitt Romney or
Nope.
Rich?
Nope. His name's Rich.
Okay.
They ran our ticket table for the Mead Fest.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So,
yes. I knew I recognized that. But I was saying before when Andrew was talking, I was away in Aruba, and I'm excited for this year's Mead Fest. I'm going to be around.
Is there a Mead Fest this year?
Yes. So we're looking to the third week in August.
Okay.
So the first Saturday in August is always National Mead Day.
Yes.
It's what we chose last year. We think we'll get more participation if we don't do it on National Mead Day.
Because
people have events. Yeah.
Everyone has events during that time. So
and the second week of the month.
all the meaderies want their own events.
The second week of September, August is the Craft Classic. So we don't want to steal from that.
You don't want to step
so
on that.
we're probably going to end up going with the third week.
Good.
And last week
it doesn't line up with Labor Day or anything,
nope.
right?
Last year we slapped together.
Ain't nobody
a
doing
festival
shit.
in 6 weeks, and we sold 260 tickets to a festival of alcohol that no one knew what the fuck it was. So I feel like we're a little bit of time. I think we do pretty good.
And getting stuff done. Your brewery has events all the time. I mean, we're constantly getting new stuff on social media.
Right.
What is the coming down the pipe, or what are we looking for the new year?
Now, I mean, we're prepping for the Cask Fest, the Brewers Collective Cask Fest.
What are you thinking of doing for Cask Fest?
Figuring that out right
I heard
now.
at my 40th
Everybody's getting sick here right now.
I was going to say, at my 40th birthday party, I heard some talk.
And Steve won last fucking year.
Right. We came in third. Fuck you. the guys who didn't even make beer. We came in third.
I did see that, yes.
We're coming for it this year.
The bronze medal.
I don't really know what I'm making
Literally
yet,
and figuratively.
We're coming for it, motherfuckers.
You know what the key is? Just put on nitro. Just put everything on nitro.
You can't put anything on nitro in a cask.
You could. Just.
I'm gonna hide a keg.
Physics has this nitro thing that you could like double pump it, and it'll.
I'm sure no one will notice.
Pump little bubbles into it. Yeah, no, that's true. By the end of the night, everyone's gonna be like,
"Why is this keg?
Why are the professional brewers?
Why is this so silky?
Yeah, what is this?
Why is this mead carbonated?"
Well, about that. So what happened there is, guys. So tell us a little bit about what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, we got nothing crazy going on.
Because you don't need to, because you're just fucking great.
Just existing.
We're
looking forward to the 2 Cask Fests.
Yeah.
We've already got our beer ready for our first anniversary. That's sitting in the barrels about.
And when is that?
May 3rd. So
and what is that going to be? What the fuck are you heard?
What?
I was going to say, is that a drone? Is that going to shoot anything at me?
Yes, it will.
Oh, fuck. Whoa, Hold your beer. I don't want anything. What the fuck? All
what
right.
a dick.
That's crazy.
Hey, you know what?
That's crazy.
This segment's over. Good seeing everybody. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. We're gonna find
It's
out
not
more.
over. This is the end of the show.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. That's rapid fire. I
God,
want one
dude,
of those.
where can I get that?
Target, apparently.
Target. All right. Rival? All right.
Shut up.
That's the coolest toy ever. I'm not gonna lie.
There's yellow balls everywhere, just to let you know.
Tyler walked in the door with that this morning and just lit me up.
Just unloaded the entire
Just
clip.
front door just.
I was wondering why Tom came through with the GoPro, and I'm like, what the fuck is he doing?
I was like, what's happening right now? Kenny, welcome. I just shot you about 25 times.
I think I'm gonna have bruises.
So
like
what is the anniversary beer that's in the barrels?
We got an Imperial Stout.
Wait, you cheated and looked at the
I looked at those.
That's different.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Ah.
He said barrels.
Barrels.
It's in barrels. Okay.
So we got a 10% Imperial Bourbon barrel.
That's so cute. 10%.
aged Stout. It's cute. It's great. Mr. Mead.
What are the adjuncts in that thing?
We got a bunch. There's
Yeah.
I think I used 18 different malts in that beer.
It's a lot of malt.
It's a lot of malt. Something like that.
It's a little bit.
It's a little bit. But it's tasting fantastic. So
yeah, you every month just
every
checking
month,
it out.
Yeah, so it's 2 Heaven Hill bourbon barrels and 1 Jim Beam Knob Creek barrel.
How'd you get those?
So 2 we got from a barrel broker. The other one we actually acquired from one of the liquor stores in town.
Oh, nice.
Barrel broker sounds like a great job title.
Great
Sure
job.
does.
That's how we got those mezcal barrels as well. We're getting funky with those.
Those are looking interesting too.
Yeah. Scorpion. It's the mezcal with the actual scorpion in the
actual
bottle.
scorpion bottle.
There's no scorpions in the barrels we checked.
No, not these ones, but the ones that they serve. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like there should be.
Right.
Oh,
I
we
mean,
could put our own in there. If we
I don't
go.
know where to get scorpions.
Bye, James.
But I'm sure.
Hey, James. Thanks a lot.
Probably
We'll talk to you.
BTJ's Jungle. They probably have
Yes.
scorpions.
Yes.
We'll acquire some scorpions.
Sure.
Scorpion Day.
I mean, that's a thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a day for everything else. There was a bobblehead day the other day. Might as well be a fucking scorpion day.
Sure.
So we got the Knob Creek barrel, one of the liquor stores in town here. They're one of the largest purchasers of Knob Creek in the country, apparently.
Okay.
Interesting.
So they were gifted their own barrel of Knob Creek. They finished the barrel and said, "Hey, do you want this? We just finished this yesterday."
Yes, we'll take all of that and then some.
Take it, thank you. So, and it's interesting because each barrel tastes almost completely different.
Okay.
You know, one's got more oak, one's got more bourbon. The Knob Creek one actually tastes like a cherry cordial. So it's like, then we blend them all together, and it's just
Nice. It's just magic.
Yes. So look for that one. First weekend in May.
We should do a movie out of here.
A movie?
Yeah, like the Irishman.
Like a stag film?
So what kind of movie are we talking about?
Like a porno?
Like a Don, and we got
Listen, whatever makes more money for Secatogue is fine with me. As long as we can.
What kind of licenses do you hold?
Come on.
Fine with me.
Yes.
Saturday nights at Secatogue.
So I'm literally.
You have sexy commies.
I mean, I'm just here for the sex.
Just here for the sex, baby.
Yeah, that's right. Which is, by the way, you did a collaboration with the beer
Brewers Collective. Yep, on Monday. Yep.
And then you did another one prior to that, right?
With Destination Unknown, right?
Dubco, and these are exciting little collaborations
Right.
you guys are putting
So-
together. I don't want to say little because it's going to be canned. Any of this going to be
This one, we're not quite sure what we're doing with it yet. We still have some decisions to make.
Ooh, decisions to be made.
We're kind of just seeing how it goes and what we want to do with it.
Okay.
So far, fucking phenomenal.
That's awesome.
It's a big Imperial Stout as well.
Just to let you know.
And then
Secret.
Dubco and I we're talking about what the follow-up to our collab will be.
Okay.
So that'll be.
And you guys have put together a lot of different ones.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that, we
Selling
got
sex, and then
yeah. Well, that was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Science
thought
of
there was
selling
another one.
sex.
Science of selling sex.
Science of selling
I
sex.
thought there was
baby.
another one in between. No,
No.
maybe not. All right.
Yeah.
So then it's the next one.
Yeah.
Stage 2.
Stage
2.0.
Yeah. So we'll see. Stay tuned.
Joe, what do you got on the horizon here? Because I'm looking at the computer
actually,
and I'm seeing
I had a question.
2%. I'm like, fuck, and I'm charging. So I don't know what the fuck happened, but apparently
What,
everything we're running is sucking the life out of my computer. So go
Sack
ahead.
Talk with Mike. What is the New York State Farm Brewers, the New York State Farm Meadery license?
So it's actually very similar to anything the New York State Farm Brewery license has. So like we'll not sell anything labeled New York State. So we could sell beer
Farm
now.
breweries,
we could
farm
sell
distilleries,
we could
spirits.
sell fucking spirits. We could have upwards of 5 satellite tasting locations. So anyone who has a farm.
When is the next Meadworks tasting room opening then?
Oh God, not anytime soon. I wish. we're actually currently looking for another space to move production. So
Very
that.
foamy. Yes,
That's awesome.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's
terrific.
I'm
So we're
half
trying to.
foam
We
here.
have a few things in the works for this year. So
We need straws.
for expansion, because we're a product that no one knows anything about.
Dude, that's fucking
so we're
great.
trying to
That's
get something
not
out
a
there.
definitely not bad thing.
And you've been to our teeny tiny tasting room.
I have.
Or
I got verbally accosted when I entered.
as you should have been.
Because you haven't been
fair.
there enough,
That's
as,
fair.
according to Joe.
We've been open 16 months, and you clowns have only been there
Twice.
Well, he's been there more than I
Once.
have. Yeah.
Yeah, so 3 times.
I
total.
do live down the block, and I have to go
and,
more.
And
I
that's
apologize.
math.
I brought my dog.
That's math. I try to come in once a month, but I have children and I have responsibilities.
We're kids and dog friendly. Bring your
My
kids,
kids are
bring your
annoying.
wives, bring your dogs.
My kids are not going to make my
They're
time
annoying.
there enjoyable. That's the problem.
Listen, that's part of
And
the
I also
game.
have to split my time. It's like I have divorced parents. I have to split my time between you and Ryan and 27A.
Yeah, but you've probably been there like fucking 40 times.
I know.
I brought my dog there. Their
I'm gonna
brewery
say
dog got fucking loud with my dog.
Equally amount of time with you and Ryan.
No,
by the
yeah,
way.
no, not.
Which
it's
is not.
It's not equal.
No, it is. It is. It's. I've been there.
When are you getting your brewery
27A
dog?
3 times.
27A's brewery dog attacked my dog.
I'm working for his brewery. I'm his new salesman.
What
for,
are you talking
it's
about?
Mead.
When did
It's
that just
Joe
happen?
from the greatest mead in the world
Oh,
with
boy.
Graz as his salesman.
That's
Thank
not.
you.
That's not at all what's
might
happening.
happen. It might.
It might not.
Hopefully June.
Oh.
I actually put in an application for a puppy from a breeder.
Isn't it a silly thing to put in an application for a puppy?
No,
It's like
why?
I did it several times.
No, I actually respect that because like these people actually care where their dog is going.
Dude, it was like some of the questions I answered trying to get a fucking dog were insane.
No, and if
How many questions were you asked to have a kid?
All of those.
Fucking zero.
Yep.
But
they don't care.
Did anyone ask me if I had a 6-foot-high fence to keep in my fucking kids?
Nope.
No.
No.
And Kenny has
none
more
of
kids
that
than
matters.
both of you.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, only for another couple weeks.
Only
Then
yeah.
then we'll be
I have
tied.
2. He
We're
has
tied.
2, but he's gonna have 3, and he's gonna equal this guy. This
I'm-
guy has
That's
5.
right. That's the
5.
appropriate
Do it
reaction.
in one shot, though.
I got 4. How many you got? How many you got?
3.
You got 3. How
One
many,
shot,
How many you
though.
got?
I have
You
0.
triplets?
Yes.
Holy shit.
It was the first time I had sex. And,
To be fair, 2 of 4 of Graz's
And
aren't
3
even his.
Thanks.
I didn't know any
Wow.
better, and I just kind of it
So
happened.
time out. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You have
They
triplets?
said it in a hot tub, didn't count.
Ken from the greatest brewery on Long Island, besides Charlie from 1940s, Secatogue,
Oh boy.
has triplets. Shut up. All right. Let me.
yes.
It's
Now, how old are your?
5.
Oh my God. That,
yeah.
Yeah.
Boys or girls?
2 boys and a girl.
Oh God, that's fantastic.
I'm done.
Oh, you-
Yeah.
oh,
So
Obviously.
good-
I have
good
a
call.
I have a gun in the garage.
If you're not done, I'm sure you
If
can land a reality
if anybody has a
show.
reliable
Yeah, exactly.
urologist, I'm.
I'm waiting.
If you're not done,
I'm waiting for
I
the-
guarantee you can get a reality show.
Hold on.
I'm
Brew
wait-
with 17 kids.
I'm waiting for the purge to be officially active.
Ken and I are going to talk. Ken, do you like the NCAA tournament?
See, I'm not a big basketball.
Oh, fuck. All right. So I'm going to put these other mics back on. I was going to say, you and I can go in and get a 2-for-1 snip job.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
during the NCAA basketball tournament. And
How
we
about
can
a
just
3
sit
for
home
1?
all
Why,
weekend.
how many do you have? You have
No, I
two,
need a
right?
goddamn.
I have 2, but I'm
whoa,
done.
Whoa. I'm ahead of you in that fucking
you
line.
should-
Dude, your sperm is solid, man. You've been just putting out.
I have no
kids left
children.
and
Can we,
right.
can we please change the topic?
No.
Can we please include
My
the
wife
I'm
got
not
out of the
included.
fucking hospital with a burst fucking ovary.
Good luck with
and
it. I don't
somehow
care.
got fucking
I'm the
pregnant.
new official fucking co-captain of the Wort with Mike and Pete, and I'm Graz, and Pete's gone for a 2-month fucking sabbatical.
1 month.
All right, well it's enough. It's enough.
All right, listen. YouTube is now giving me these huge errors that we're not receiving enough
I mean,
video to
the
maintain.
error message is only yellow.
It's huge yellow.
When it's red, I guess.
But I'm
it's-
recording everything, so
here
it'll
we
be
go.
reposted anyway and
It's
replayed.
another 6 minutes we're not on.
I
Where's
don't
their
give a
fucking
fuck.
producer?
He's drunk in the corner. Who gives a fuck? All right, here we go. All right, let's wrap this up.
Stop paying me in beer.
Well, I fed you enough beer.
Do you want to be paid in mead? Well, I mean, like,
We could do that.
We can do that.
You're up. What are you
By the
Get me
way,
to
Jay, I don't want to pour any out, but I'm gonna kind of weirdly pour some out for Steve from Barrage.
floor drains are behind you.
I don't
oh
wanna
God,
do that.
give me some of that.
You guys worked a
Fuck
lot
you.
to clean this brewery right now and make it look fantastic, so I don't want to ruin it.
I'm so goddamn-
We're
Steve,
still
this
live,
is for
by the
you,
way,
buddy.
Mike.
We are? Okay, good. Listen, this is bittersweet, but we want to give a quick shout out
Cheers,
to Steve.
Steve Pominski.
Pominski from Barrage to here. Here.
Hey, listen, I'm a newbie, but I have to tell you, Steve, God bless. You're a good man. We hope to see you over in
Not
Limo
much left
Talk
of that,
on
anyway.
Thursday nights, 9 o'clock.
Hey, constant. Listen, we want to wish you guys and your family big endeavors towards the future. And I don't know if even
All
that
the
was
glass
correct.
linking.
All of the things that you want to come true, I hope they do. And you had a great run, buddy. And this is for you.
Cheers.
I feel like you should put Sinatra on when
Quick
when
moment
I
of
was
silence.
21.
Oh, God damn, that's good.
Thank you for hosting us tonight.
Thanks for
really
coming,
appreciate
guys.
it. Anything else to plug? Obviously, you're doing a great job here, but
Is there any goat yoga going on?
No goat yoga.
Pure bar?
Nothing. No, nothing.
No pure bar.
Why don't you
Nothing
come to
Good.
why don't you come to my show?
We're just
Are you
hanging.
serving beer?
We're serving beer.
Lots
Terrific.
of beer, and
10
that's
taps flowing Thursday through
Sold.
Sunday.
What time is Thursday?
Thursday we're open from 3 to 9.
Let me
Okay.
ask you a question. If I come here to pick up a
Here we go.
growler for my,
Yeah.
for my
Oh,
show,
business
I-
later.
I'm
All right,
just- I'm
Joe,
being honest.
what do you-
What time can I get a growler? Shut up, Michael.
Anytime
Whatever.
these
If
are
there's
open,
a car
just
in the parking
come
lot,
in
come
and
down,
fucking
get a
come on.
growler, buy a
Done.
gift card, buy some merch.
Done.
I'm trying here.
Okay, good.
You know what? I'll
Joe,
get-
Joe,
what
what's
do you got
going on at
coming
the
up
Mead
over
Works?
there at the meat?
Graz, go away.
Fly away, Pelican. Fly away. Don't worry about it. Just keep going.
we could fist fight in the parking lot.
I'd like to see thumb wars personally.
No.
Thumb
We
wars
got
in the
Nerf
parking-
guns. We could just fuck
No.
them.
unload a 50
No.
pack. Go ahead. Tell us a little bit about what's going on. At
I'm not
the,
really sure what's
the
even going on.
meadery.
I'm busy getting me stare down my Graz right now.
Okay. So this is going well. All right. So listen. This is the Word with Mike and Pete, GovsRadio.com. We want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. I want to really thank the LIBME for having us, inviting us in, honestly, and also Ken and Secatogue for hosting us. Really great time tonight. Pete, this is our 50th, by the way, our 50th show. So you hit a nice little, milestone for us. And it's the first show of 2020. So, all of the check marks of what we're doing here has done. I want to quickly go through what we have coming up in studio.
When is our next show?
Our next show is, Jesus Christ. Our next show is
We're gonna be
January.
on February after the baby's born.
I have one more show. I don't even know when it is, but
All
I'm
right, here
showing
it
up
is.
for it.
It is January 20th. We are with Old Tappin'. And then
okay, great.
February 3rd, we have Brew York.
You have.
I have. Gun Hill coming in. Me too, by the way. Nope. No one heard that. I turned you off. And then on February 24th, we have Alewife coming in. And then March, we have a couple of different guys coming in. We have, I'm still scheduling it out, but we have 5 different breweries that are on the hook right now for March and April. So pretty much we have up until May booked out. I just have to decide who's going when and where.
Which one of those shows are you coming on?
Yeah, which one do you want to come in for?
Is Alewife gonna be Pat?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
It's Pat.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's Pat.
I want to know Pat.
Pat and I were going back and forth. I'm like, this guy's fucking cool. He's gonna fit
Dude,
right in.
he's a maniac.
Yeah, I like it.
I would actually like. I know Pat personally.
Yeah,
I would
All right.
like to be on that show.
So text them and let them know that we were booked for what I say February 20 something.
He wants Pat and me not on the show, so
February
I won't be on that.
February
I can be back by
February
then.
24th. He'll be back.
okay.
He's
Done.
gonna miss
I can be
literally.
back
He's gonna miss one show.
One or two.
You know what, Michael? You
No,
made
one.
it seem like it was
I
going
don't
to be
well,
a
depends on when the goddamn baby
That's
shows
true.
up.
I'm gonna
Mike,
say
you made it
one.
really seem like it was going to be a
I'm
month.
so not ready.
And by the way, I'm getting Steve to fill in. You can come, obviously, like you
You
always
know
do.
what, Michael? Go fuck yourself.
I know.
And you.
And now your mic is
And
on.
we're at that point of the show. It's
Yeah,
good.
that-
I'm
that
glad
I
we got
turned.
here.
Sorry, I pushed the both buttons at the same time.
Ken,
And
Joe, thank you for hosting us. Thank
Yeah.
you for coming on again.
Thanks a lot for
It's,
keeping the brewery
always-
open
always
as we
been a
hang
fucking
out
pleasure.
I have to be catching up to fucking Steve at this point.
No.
we will.
I'm
We
at
will.
3.
Steve's at like 8.
right.
Steve and Charlie.
Yeah.
I think have been on the most. And
Steve's up to 5
close,
or 6.
Close third
Charlie's
is
up to 5 or 6.
Scott from Long Island.
You've been on a bunch though. I mean,
3.
besides
3.
the
No,
your own
seriously,
27A
Steve's been on
live.
like 6 fucking times.
Yeah.
I'm gonna catch that motherfucker.
All right. I mean, there's plenty of time.
Just keep coming on. Just keep coming through.
Whenever you want.
And if
Yeah.
we
show up.
carefully select our live
Challenge
shows,
accepted.
obviously between Dub Fest and some of the Cast Fest and stuff like that, obviously Ken's going to
How
catch
is
up
he
very
fucking
quickly
like-
too. Yeah, absolutely.
fucking-
Oh, sorry, I turned your mic off because Graz was
You're
right
right.
Damn it.
over your shoulder. So, yeah.
I would love to be back.
Yes, you would. and lots to talk about. Lots of cool stuff to discuss about this fucking brewery and your lineup. And we didn't have much time to really discuss, everything that you're doing here. But
the amber was terrific.
Dude,
the New Zealand I
love ambers. But can I just say ambers?
Terrific.
I love.
I love.
And I love them. So
agreed.
That was delicious.
Thank you.
Very bready, just the way I would like it. Yeasty.
Malty and delicious.
It's that red wheat, baby.
There we go.
Yeah. All right, so this is a work with Mike and Pete, GubsRadio.com. Let's talk about what we have coming up really fast. Like I said, February 3rd, we have Brew York, the Instagram guru who's been to over 1,800 breweries around the country and around the world, as well as Gun Hill. They'll be in on February 3rd. And then, of course, February 24th, after our extended break, we have Alewife coming in. Coming up in January.
Possibly with Meadworks.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, if
I'm gonna text
he
Pat
plays
tomorrow.
well. Our next show is scheduled for January 20th with Old Tappin' at our studio. So stay tuned for all that good stuff, and we'll be back here, I guess, on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook page and all that other good stuff. So anything else to kind of throw in there, Pete?
Don't forget to have your pet spayed or neutered.
That's right. This is the Word Like a Pete, GubsRadio.com. This is the new ending to our show in 2020. We'll see you guys in a few weeks. We out.
Well, that's 2 hours of your life you're never getting back.
First off, it was 3 hours.
What the fuck? Honestly, how can you talk about beer for 3 hours?
It's beer. There's so many elements in it.
Where's mine? It's been 3 hours and I don't even get a single beer.
You don't get shit.
This is the Wort on Gubs Radio. I hope you're drunk enough.